Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Book Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 18. Got the regular crew in the house today, calling them crackers. Emiya, Starlock, Pharaoh Black, Rick Dom, myself, Book Nice, and we jumping right into things. It's a pretty busy week for me. I didn't really buy too many things, but I was able to score. We was just talking about this before we went live. I was able to score the Walgreens exclusive Namor figure, and I passed up the entire Giant Man wave, the MCU Giant Man wave. I could have got the full wave, but I only cared about the Nick Furies right now because obviously I'm trying to army build those. So I got a few of those.
How many of the original Shield Agents do you have?
I want to say. I want to say 28, I think.
Fuck.
I think 28. So if I could get 20 of the new ones, I'll be happy. I'll be content with 10 because I know it's going to be a little more difficult. Just got lucky with these right now, but yo, the Nama figure is nice, man. I just put up a review of that on my channel, so if you're tuning in, when this is over, check that out. There's a review of the Nama up right now. But yo, that figure came out really, really nice. Whatever concerns we may have had after seeing like images of it, don't even worry about any of it. The face looks fine, the proportions look fine, everything looks really good. So I got that, the Nama, the Furies. I started to get Black Panther because I really just wanted the unmasked head, but the one that I saw, the eyes looked big, like they were painted right, but it looked like he was like somebody squeezed his balls or something. Like he looked nuts. So I passed on that, and I also got the Takara. What's that shit that just came out? What's that Emiya that we talked about last week?
Which one?
Um, the purple dude.
Oh, Laser Wave, Shockwave.
Yeah. So I got that. I was at the post office like this whole week. I didn't open it yet. I see that it looks kind of lavender.
I think yeah, it's animation colors. So,
Right. My
yeah.
man Dave was saying that. He was like, you know what? In the cartoon, it was changing up different times and shit. And
I mean, in the show, it's pretty much always that lavender color. It's the darker purple color is basically how the toy looked. The
that,
old toy looked like that. So often they like to do like a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of times when they do Transformers, back in the day, the toy color in the show and then the color in the show was usually kind of different. So
Mhm.
that's why they have show accurate color and then also toy accurate color.
I watched Transformers as a kid, but I wasn't like that. Wasn't my thing like that. That was Dave's shit. Like he loved that. But for me, it was more GI Joe was my thing. So it's certain things I don't really remember about the '80s show, but um, but I'm happy to still have it. It's smaller than from what I understand, it's smaller than the other one too.
He's a little bit shorter than Soundwave, but he should be like a little taller than Soundwave.
I don't know,
So
man. I just watched one of the cartoons the other day where, if I'm not mistaken, Spike or somebody went down under the water and moved a rock so one of those Transformers can get up under the water, or whatever. But they were showing the clip of Megatron, Shockwave, and Soundwave going on an elevator of some sort or whatever, and he was the shortest. Shockwave was.
like I said, I mean those shows are so terribly animated, and people just don't give a lot of the people who worked on that show. They really didn't give a shit about all of that.
If you go back and watch them now, they look nuts. You're right. No
You
question.
actually watch. There are times when like certain characters are like the toy size, like it's toy scale. Like there's this one episode where Ultra Magnus has like one Constructicon in each hand, and he's like slapping them together.
Right.
Like it's not consistent. So I just think that a lot of people prefer Shockwave to be like the same height as Megatron. So he should be like a little bit taller than Soundwave, but I think it's fine. I mean, it's not like they look bad next to each other. I think it's fine. So
What else you get? That's it?
Yeah, I think that was it that I got this week. I'm looking around and shit. I had just trying to organize my stuff. Yeah, that was it. That was the only stuff I bought this week. Well, I pre-ordered the Optimus Primal. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I did pre-order that.
Well,
Pharaoh.
I didn't get much. I guess what you got me a Fury, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And then and the Namor, and I got the pretty much I paid for my entire fucking Giant Man wave. I think that might be it, man. I don't think I got too much more. It really wasn't that anything out here in the stores for me to actually buy.
You know what? I actually cut this part out of the review, but on the back of the package for the Nama figure, it was in Spanish for one, but it was they had pictures of the MCU wave on the back, which I thought was kind of weird. Like Nama was like a chase figure from that wave, but we all know he's supposed to be a Walgreens exclusive, so I thought that was kind of odd. But I forgot to put that in the review. But yeah, that's it.
Pharaoh, that it for you? Yeah. Well, it was a pretty light week for me too. Earlier this week, I got the ringside exclusive Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, which is pretty nice.
Wait, which one?
The newest one, the HBK with the white red outfit.
Not the one from before.
No. This is the one in the white and red outfit with the sunglasses. It's pretty nice. I mean, I didn't have a Shawn Michaels, so I'm glad to have that. And I really like the ringside exclusives. Like I got the NWO guys last week. They're really nice. I think the ringside exclusives do a good job of like making a single like definitive outfit for each wrestler. So I got the Rock one too, which is really nice. And then something I put up on Plastic and Paint that I copped like immediately was there's a metal decorative motorcycle that you can get on the Hobby Lobby website, and it fits pretty well in scale with the NECA Ultimate T800. So I copped one of those. It was like $11, but it ended up being just under $20 with shipping and tax and everything.
Yeah, I have a Hobby Lobby down like a mile away from my house. I'm gonna go buy one for my Undertaker.
Yeah, and I think there's a 50% off all decor coupon floating around right now, but it only works in store.
When you have the app, you have a 50% on coupon that doesn't ever expire.
Oh.
You know what? I forgot about that. I did get that, ordered that motorcycle too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I actually first saw it on Reddit, and then that same person happened to post it on NECA's Twitter. The NECA retweeted saying, like, hey, where'd you get it? Post a link because other people are going to want it. Sure enough, the guy did, and they have several styles of motorcycles, but this one was probably the most similar to the one in the movie because it has the saddlebags in the back of the motorcycle. But it's technically like it's decor, it's something you put in like your man cave and it just sits there. But the wheels on it do roll, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, I just got the Giant Man wave yesterday. The whole thing, Comic Bug had it for me. They texted me and say, hey, we got a case for you. So I left a show that I went to go see at my girl's school, and then I immediately went to Comic Bug and got that. And the two-per case is the Cap and the Iron Man. So I didn't get those, but I got 2 extra Nick Furies so I could have, at least one of each head swap. What I'm really not digging, though, is the helmeted head. I thought it'd probably be the most versatile one, but I actually don't really like it too much. It's a little big for the body, and it doesn't really match with the rest of it because it's more of like a skin-tight suit with like an armor helmet. It looks a little off. It would look a little better if you had some armor on it. That's just like a personal thing, though.
I thought that it being a little big actually fit. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like there is a head underneath there. But
right.
But I do agree with you that the deco didn't quite match up the best. But that head could surely be used for something else. You could customize it. This figure is a custom dream with all of the pouches and all of that stuff. So
I could definitely see someone repainting this head and making it to match the Scourge body that just came out. That would look really good on that body.
I was thinking that too.
Because that's more like an armor, like I'm saying, so it'll fit a little bit better with this head. But overall, like the figure is nice. It's probably my favorite from the set. Although Nuke is really good too. What's his name? Red Guardian is kind of a random character, but I'm oddly happy to have him. And but yeah, definitely this Nick Fury is the one that everyone's going to be after, and it's a good Nick Fury head sculpt. I like it a lot.
Definitely, it's clean. It's really well painted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. The only kind of complaint that I have about it is the hairline. It's not always painted too consistently. So like, you know, when you already start having multiples in front of you at once, you start to notice sort of the variations. But I have noticed that the eye work is a lot better across the wave. So there's not as many wonky eyes. Because I did look through pretty much every figure that Comic Bug got in from that set, and they all actually had pretty consistent deco throughout. So, I mean, obviously always check, but just know that of the 3 cases that I looked through, everything looked pretty consistent.
Yeah, the Red Guardian figure did look really nice. Like I said, I passed up on other stuff, but I did see the full wave.
Mm-hmm. Well, I bought the full wave just because, I mean, I wanted the movie figures just to kind of have them, but you know, those are the figures that I use when I do displays at the movie theater or at the comic shop or whatever. So it's good to have them around just in case like that. That's the only reason I bought those stupid Mattel figures too, because I was like, fuck, I'll just do something at Comic Bug with them. I mean, the movie's in theaters, it's relevant, and when it's over, maybe I'll sell them. But that was about it for me. One last thing about this Nick Fury, though, it's really hard to find heads that match the peg. Of all the heads that I have, I've got Coulson, all the heads that come with Chameleon, the old Steve Rogers, the movie Steve Rogers, the Daredevil unmasked head. None of those fit on this ball peg. The only one that actually did manage to fit was the unmasked Black Panther head from the movie Black Panther. So if you want some Black Shield agents, I mean, this is just the heads that I have. I don't know anything about. I mean, Pharaoh asked me in the pre-chat how it fits on the old Shield agents.
Did you say you tried the Chameleon head?
Yeah, the actual Chameleon head didn't fit. I mean, none of them did. Not even Jonah Jameson or Hammerhead.
Nah, you could get the Chameleon head on there. I tried it. I reviewed Nick Fury too. I just didn't make it the video live. I'll make it live tomorrow. But you could definitely get the Chameleon head on there, and you can definitely get the old Shield agent head on there, that helmeted head, and it looks good. So you can get Dum Dum Dugan on there. You could definitely do some of the things that people were probably anticipating doing.
What about Nick Fury?
Which one? The old Nick Fury?
The black one. Can you get Samuel L. Jackson's head on there?
I didn't try that one yet, but I'm thinking it'll look big.
Yeah, I'll try that after I'm done with my week here. I think, yeah, I mean, I just tried it. Yeah, I wasn't pushing hard enough, but the Chameleon heads do fit on here, so you can have J. Jonah Jameson as a Shield agent if you want.
Yeah, you and your bang, man.
Shield agent, I want more pictures of Spider.
He's gonna get them one way or another.
Fabio gonna have people like, damn, man, I shouldn't even buy this figure. I can't put any heads on there. Look at him, he's fucking up.
Nah.
I guess I just didn't push on it hard enough. Let me try the Matt
Murdock. A few, but
again.
the peg is tight. You definitely gotta push it hard.
No, Matt Murdock is a hard fit too, but it does fit. I mean, the neck peg, like the disc hinge, is actually pretty loose on all 3 of my figures. So maybe I was a little bit hesitant about getting it on there, or it just wasn't cooperating because it kept moving downwards. But
you know what I couldn't get on there was the Dave Castle's Tony Stark head.
Yeah, that one didn't fit either. The Matt Murdock / Hawkeye head fits pretty good, but I don't know, it looks a little weird.
Yeah, you were scared to push down on the peg because you used to handling fragile with garbage. That's all it was. You thought you was gonna snap a neck peg or something.
I will admit to a little bit of muscle memory.
Don't do this, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Don't do this, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Oh man.
All right, that's about it for me. What you got, Rick?
Picked up a lot of shit today. Most notably, if any of the viewers collect those wrestling figures, or don't even give a shit about wrestling figures, just want figures for cheap, you go to your local Walmart, and any wrestling figure that has a $10 sticker on it is a lie, and it's actually $1. So.
Oh yeah, I saw your posts. You got the Brock Lesnar and a couple Undertakers, right?
Yeah, I got Lesnar, a couple Undertakers. That was all my store had, sadly, but I was only gonna buy the Lesnar. I was like, for $10, I get a Lesnar, I get a shirt, I get a belt. I was like, this is a pretty good deal. And when I checked out, I looked at my total. I was like, my total's $20. Like, what's happening here? And I look, and it was because I bought a Legend and a Lesnar, and it only totaled up to like 21 something. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I gotta go back, so I fucking bought what I had, and I went all the way back up both the Undertakers and fucking got the hell out of there.
Hell yeah, that's what you should have did.
Yeah.
Anyone
Even if
that,
it,
I mean, it's very random, but anybody that was thinking about getting any of those Zootopia figures, those are 54 cents. So, feel free to do that as well.
Oh, yeah.
did you say Zootopia? I'm on it.
Boom, there you go. There you go. I got some of those Absorbing Man Legends. I've not been able to find fucking Venom to save my life.
Yeah, me neither.
I fucking have everybody else. I just don't have a Venom, so my Absorbing Man is headless.
I didn't even care to get that Venom, but Skanking Chris, we met at the A.C.B.A. meetup at Frankenstein a while ago. He was like, yeah, I got the Venom, but I don't really want these Absorbing Man heads. I'll mail them to you. So he did, but that shit got lost in the mail. USPS just absconded with it, and he never got it, and I never got it. So
Yeah,
Hey, not to
still
even
looking
switch
for
the
that.
subject, not even switching the subject on that. While you were talking about losing shit, my post office lost a GI Joe Resolute Destro, and I was pissed because I think because that figure's in between. If you on a good day, you can catch it for maybe $20, but usually it's like a $35, in a GI Joe, and I was pissed, man. Like, I mean, the guy sent me another one, but I'm just saying, I understand. I feel your pain, Fabio.
Shit, what was his name? Absorbing Man. I don't know about all you guys, but I fucking hate this Absorbing Man's neck. This pisses me off to no end. What the fuck?
Yo, Team Pain, you breaking up.
I'm breaking up?
Sound like auto-tune.
Sounded fine to me, but I like picturing that. Is that it for you, Rick? Oh shit, he just left. He'll come back. Emiya, you want to go ahead while he's gone?
Yeah, sure. This week, what did I get? Actually, he's back now, so let him.
Am I
Oh, shit,
T-Pain
he's
again?
back.
Am I T-Pain again? Am I still T-Pain?
Okay.
Okay. Back to what I was
You
saying.
sound like Peter Frampton now, actually.
This Absorbing Man's neck is the worst thing ever. I hate it so much. I don't understand why there's no disc in it. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What else I pick up this week? I got Kanan. Kanan is great. I'm very upset I don't have an Ahsoka right now. This is the worst. Aside from that, I don't think I've really picked up anything else. I got a lot of figures over at Ross. A lot of those DC collectibles figures. A few DC animated stuff. It's good findings over at Ross right now. So you guys have that near you. Go to your Ross, get a bunch of DC collectibles figures for like dirt cheap. And aside from, I think that's it. I think that's all I've gotten of note. I haven't gotten an Ami box yet, so nothing on the Japanese front yet.
Now you can go, Emiya.
Basically, what did I get this week? I got a number of things. I did get some of my shipments. I got like some prize figures. Again, those are all. I don't think of any interest of the people in the audience.
Oh yeah, I got some prize figures too. I forgot from.
Prize figures too, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, the same prize figures I got. Yeah, the Cell, the Gohan.
Yeah. I got Laser Wave.
Just one?
Laser Wave. I bought two. I bought two Laser Wave. But I'll probably only keep one because I think my friend, he wants one, so maybe I'll sell one to him. And then like all the other stuff, like all just the regular, like the new stuff that came out at the end of the month, end of last month, basically I just got. So like all the last minute Tamashi releases and Max Factory releases and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, speaking of Max Factory, I'm sorry to interrupt. I totally forgot another thing that I picked up this week.
What did you get?
I got the Mafex Amazing Spider-Man 2. So yeah, here comes another meme on Plastic and Pain about me buying imports, right?
That's actually made by Medicom. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah, Max Factory is the company that makes the Figma line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, clearly I know nothing about imports, but it's still a good figure. I liked it a lot.
Did yours have any problems, like the loose problems, not floppy at all?
Yeah, my shoulders on both arms are actually really loose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that's generally a problem.
It's
And
like-
one of my magnets on the feet came out like immediately.
Really?
Mhm.
That's
But
The
yeah, that's
hips are next, Fabio.
I mean, it's all
The hips.
stuff to fix, so I guess it's not,
What-
not too breaker.
What'd you say, Pharaoh?
But you shouldn't have to fix that shit, man. I mean, especially not even for the price that they're charging now. The original price was still in the $50 range, whatever. I mean, I don't want to be sitting around fixing a $50 figure.
I mean, hey,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I got it for. Is it was on sale on Big on Toy Store.
To Mafex's defense, their newer figures have not been like the Batman and the Spider-Man before it. Like, their Darth Vader. I've never heard anyone complain about the Darth Vader, and I have it too. And hopefully, going forward, all their figures are going to be of this level. Hopefully they figured out the right QC formula, and are moving forward with the way that they are now.
I agree. But hey Fabio, the hips are next, man. Be careful. Like seriously, the hips. I was just messing with mine yesterday, and my left shoulder is extremely loose, and then now the right hip, the leg, if you turn it, just falls off. It will not stay on.
Damn.
It's just a disaster. And I'm hoping better for the Batman versus Superman figures because those are the only other figures besides the Bank Robber Joker that I have ordered for Mafex.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up and say I hope they got their shit together by the time these Batman and Superman figures come out. My Spider-Man has held up pretty well, though. I mean, it's the regular loose problems that you described, but I haven't had anything fall apart. It's held up as well.
Batman 2.0 was better. I know your peg and your wrist broke and shit, but I mean, for the most part, other than that, I think the 2.0 version, it pretty much did its thing for me.
And it's the DX set too, so it has the manhole cover and the fireman hat and the fire hose and all that fun stuff. So pretty cool. But yeah, it's got a couple of problems, but it is. I like that the magnetic wall is included, so it gives us some very different display options. But yeah, go ahead, Emiya. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all that I got. There was a lot of news this week, so I'll think about. There's a lot of stuff that I was planning to buy because of the news, but as far as actual stuff that I received, I didn't really. Nothing really crazy. It's all just the normal stuff. So.
All right. We want to get into the topics now, Rick?
Oh yeah, let's do it, man.
Oh yeah, okay. We had that Star Wars Rogue One trailer. What did everybody think of it?
I thought it looked great, man. I was actually a little more intrigued for that than Force Awakens. Honestly, I mean, we kind of all expected that Force Awakens was going to be good and exciting and whatever, but I think this movie, from the trailer, it looks more serious. It looks more dark. It looks like it'll be like a really, really cool movie. I mean, and they didn't even really show a ton of stuff in the trailer, honestly, but for whatever reason, it looks interesting. It looked really, really interesting. We saw Forrest Whitaker, and we saw the Asian dude. I don't know his name. What's his name?
Donnie Yen.
Yeah. So that was cool. Definitely to see some more minorities and starring roles in Star Wars. That's always a plus.
I don't think we saw him, but Diego Luna is also supposed to be in it.
Somebody mentioned that in Plastic and Paint actually too.
Hispanic actor, so good diversity in this film for sure.
Right. So yeah, that's always a good thing, and it looks like we may see Vader or maybe Palpatine and some of the familiar faces from the original trilogy. So that's going to be interesting, and of course we're going to get more figures, man. So SH Figure Arts is going to be on top of it, Black Series, all of that stuff. We're going to get more figures. So I'm happy that I held on to my OT Stormtroopers and Vader, and that's pretty much the only thing that I kept from the Black Series, like a few select figures, but our army built the hell out of the Stormtroopers, so we'll see them make an appearance. So I thought it looked great, man. I thought it looked very promising.
I didn't even see it.
What?
No, I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't give a fuck about it.
No, you didn't watch it. You didn't watch it right now.
No.
You yourself and watch it.
I don't know.
So you can talk about it.
Yeah, that we can get a fresh
I
response
don't
from
want.
you.
I don't. Hey, I don't want to talk about it. Shit. I'm gonna listen to you guys talk about it. I don't care about it. When it comes out, I'm gonna go see it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a ton of previews and shit all over the place. I'll see it then. I'm not even in a hurry to see it.
Well, he's not wrong.
And just like Boog just said, it wasn't a bunch of shit going on in it. So I mean, the fuck, you know.
There's a good amount of stuff you can take out of it though. I thought it was a good trailer. As like a trailer, it definitely built up hype and it didn't reveal all too much, which is the point of a teaser trailer. I think what's more interesting coming out of it is all the theories about exactly who this main character is. Because this one guy I listened to on YouTube named Bandit Incorporated, he's buddies with Mr. Sunday Movies, who we've mentioned before. He put together a theory saying that, and leading into the second point of our topic here is the whole thing about back-to-back female leads and why there's some kind of controversy about it. But I think they're going to do a flip the script sort of thing here, and this female protagonist is actually going to be the antagonist by the end of the movie. So and he backs it up with a few things. One of the notable things that he said was how pretty much everybody in the Empire, and this was a conscious decision that they made after Empire Strikes Back. Like everybody in the Empire speaks with a British accent. Homegirl speaks with a British accent, and she's in like a meeting with the redhead chick, and she's like, you're wanted for this, this, and that, and then the girl replies like, I thought this was a rebellion. I rebel. But the point that he made was that like it's almost like she's trying really hard to get the rebellion's attention so that she could join them and then do who knows what. And I think the title Rogue One is also a play on words, meaning that she's the Rogue One. So I think that'll be an interesting thing. And who knows who the character really is and what her relation is to existing characters. But I think it would be really interesting to have her be the bad guy and be like the anti-Rey. So
yeah, that's definitely what speculators in the community have been saying. The fact that they show you that clip where they're just like, you did a lot of crazy shit, why are you still alive? Kind of look, and she's just like, oh well, I want to join a rebellion, so I'm rebelling.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not supposed to think much of it other than like, wow, what a cute comment. She's a lot like Rey. And in reality, who knows what it really is? She could be perfectly fine on the good side for all we know. But definitely a big rumor and
mm-hmm.
theory going around.
But I really enjoyed the tone that the trailer had. It really it made it come off more as like a war movie than an adventure movie, like Star Wars usually is. So, from my understanding, this movie takes place like immediately before New Hope, and it's the story of how the rebels got the Death Star plans.
Yes.
So, that's something that's obviously very interesting and everyone wants to see. But it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it relates to existing characters, and the fact that we're seeing the original Stormtroopers again, and we're getting hints of the Death Star, and who's that dude in the white outfit that looks like Grand Moff Tarkin but has a cape? Who knows, right? They're saying he's like the designer of the Death Star, but we all thought that Grand Moff Tarkin designed the Death Star. There's like a lot of questions, but yeah, I mean, it's just like with any new Star Wars thing that comes out, it's like, I want to see where the story goes next, but this one's different in the sense that this isn't part of the main, Skywalker storyline, which is what Star Wars has always been about. It's always been about the sins of the father and all those classical, not sci-fi, fantasy tropes. So this one definitely had a much different tone as far as it's more gritty. It felt like a war movie, like Saving Private Ryan at times. So I'm down. This wasn't really on my radar right before this trailer, but after I saw it, I'm like, wow, okay, this could be a cool little piece of the Star Wars universe that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was expecting good things from it just because it is what it is. It's a part of the franchise, But I was pleasantly surprised with how interested I am now more than ever. Seeing Donnie even just for those split seconds, doing whatever he's doing, with the stick, whatever weapon it may be, was awesome. We definitely see Palpatine in the robe. That was great.
We don't know if it's Palpatine yet. He's standing a little too upright, if you ask me. But you know, I think what he was standing in front of is interesting. He was in like a cryogenic chamber or something. There was like mist coming off of it. Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it was always cool to see the new generation of what's going to go down with Episode 7. But, when you see something like Rogue One, you get hit with a lot of, like, damn, dude, this was what I've grown up watching, instead of this is what everyone is going to start watching now with Episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited, like we were talking a little earlier, there's a lot of theories going on right now with the girl. And there's a lot of backlash. A lot of people are pissed that there's another female lead. I personally don't give a damn as long as the story's great and the characters are done well. I don't care at all. They could have all girl leads. You could make Boba Fett transgender for all I care. As long as we get good stories, great characters, I don't mind whatsoever that they're putting these girls as the stars of these films. And it's a bold move. You got to commend Disney for wanting to capture more than just the male audience with a good-looking dude that you want to envision yourself as the lead in their films. These are women, and obviously they're not pushover women, and they're trying to capture more than just the male audience and the young boys, and it's commendable. Right. It's commendable. Dude,
that's why I think it'd be a good idea to make her a villain, because we don't really have any good female villains in Star Wars. I mean, certainly not Phasma.
Oh yeah, and this is fucking Star Wars, man. These guys had the balls to have their first 2 Star Wars movies out the gate with female leads. That's crazy. It's fucking nuts. That takes balls, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. What do you think, Mr. Emiya?
The trailer reminds me a lot of.
Whoa! You gotta restart the chat because you're starting to sound like a robot again.
Oh, robot? Okay, 1 second.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of transgenders, Rick. Just a little sidebar here. A friend of mine named Megan, who I've known for a long time, recently came out as transgender, and it's great. I think anyone should have the right to be whoever they want to be and do whatever they want to do to make themselves feel comfortable. But that was my second thought. My first thought was, oh shit, well now I can't call him Megatron anymore. But not just because her name isn't Megan anymore, but because I feel it'd be kind of inappropriate to call them after a transformer.
What? Jesus Christ!
Are you gonna come out as a transgender next, Fabio?
You know what? I probably shouldn't even talk about that.
Do you even have to come out?
Fabio, this is completely off topic, but I'm gonna get the picture. There's a guy at my Target, looks identical to you. It's very creepy every time I talk to him.
I bet his hair's not as good as mine.
Oh man, I don't know about that. now we have Emiya back. Emiya, what are you thinking of this trailer?
I think it reminds me a lot of basically what Japan does with the Gundam franchise. We're essentially, I mean, other franchises do it too. It's not just Gundam, but it reminds me basically where you have a main storyline which is focused on, I guess, your big guns, like the people who really matter in the universe, and then I guess you have like the characters who matter in a different way, but they're not like part of the really big picture. So it's kind of like a grunt story essentially, like a side story where you're kind of explaining certain things happening because obviously one of the bad things about Lucas has always been he's so very focused on the Skywalker story, and it comes off very much like a one-man show. I mean, if you actually look back, Luke is essentially everything. He's the pilot, he's the adventurer, he's a Jedi, while in Episode 7 they kind of split Luke up into different components. That just kind of goes to show you how OP Luke was, technically, when you really think about it. So, I mean, it's nice to see, Disney trying to expand the universe, basically saying, hey, it's not just about these Skywalker characters. We also have these characters as well, and these other events, these other things that happen. It's all part of a big universe. It's not just about this one family. And this is obviously the first step to that. I won't really speak much about the theories and stuff. Theories are theories, all speculation. I don't think we really have too much to really go off of. And people generally get really into. I've seen like a lot of the discussions and stuff, and a lot of people have talked about it. The whole female lead thing doesn't really bother me too much. I think there's going to be a lot of Star Wars production in the future. So, I mean, there's going to be male leads, female leads, I mean, whatever. Generally speaking, myself, because I'm the type of person that also was big on the stories and stuff like that. I mean, it's a male lead, a female lead. It doesn't really matter too much as long as everything about it is good, the story is good, the characters are good. Um, as far as the nostalgic feeling that Rick Dom was talking about, I don't really get that myself, but that's mostly because the tone of Rogue One, as Fabio was saying, it's very more dark. It's more like a more gritty, more like, just darker in tone in general. I never really get that dark tone from the original trilogy. So I mean, definitely, they'll probably obviously there's a lot of things there to connect it, and I think that's good. I mean, obviously, supposedly after this, we're gonna get stuff that's gonna, obviously bridge episode 6 and 7, and I want to see that as well. But and there's plenty of Star Wars stuff coming. So I think all these people complaining about the lack of male lead, I don't think it's really that big of an issue. So I guess we'll see. But I mean, the trailer looks promising. I mean, it's really short. Essentially, it's a teaser. So I guess we'll just as in the coming months, as we get closer to release, we'll hear more details about it and everything. I mean, it's a one-shot movie, so I don't think it's really that big of a deal for you. I don't know if we're even ever gonna. Well, I mean, we probably will see some of them, depending on who survives, I guess. I mean, we'll probably see some of these characters again, but who knows? This could just be it for all these characters. So yeah.
Well, this is supposed to be the first of. Oh, someone's getting an echo.
Echo.
There we go. So this is supposed to be the first of several anthology movies. So we're gonna get Rogue One. We're supposed to get a Boba Fett movie. I think our Obi-Wan movie is rumored.
We're getting we're 100% getting a young Han story.
Right. So all these are, to fill in the gaps of the Star Wars universe, which I think is cool. It's, just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a universe. Like there's more happening than just with our boy Luke. So I'm curious to see. I like the direction that they're going. I like that we're gonna get a lot of Star Wars content in the next couple of years. I think we're supposed to get like a movie per year. So that's cool. Star Wars is like modern day bedtime stories. So that's awesome.
We're supposed to get like all the time in between, I guess, the numbered movies. We're supposed to get a spin-off movie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the spin-off movies are good because you're basically a lot of these characters. There's not enough space in the numbered films to really tell their story. So it's a good way to kind of give a chance for some of these other characters who have fan bases as well, and people love, like, Han Solo, Boba Fett. It gives them those characters an opportunity to basically, you could see their story as them as a protagonist, and you get to see, them marketed, and their story is shown to the viewer instead of just the main story. So it gives it much more depth. It makes the universe much bigger than how it was before, where literally it was years and years of pretty much the 6 movies and a handful of other things. We're supposed to get a lot of things now, so it'll really expand it, make the universe building. Like I said, Lucas was always extremely focused on the Skywalker aspect, and that makes sense because obviously, Lucas is a huge fan of the hero's path, and that's what the Skywalker story is: the hero's path, the hero's journey. So it's very good that now that we have all these other people working on it, it's not just one guy doing everything. So now we have like different guys coming in, and they want to, do a story about this guy, want to do a story about that guy, and it just makes all these characters, which, like Boba Fett is a perfect example. He was barely in anything. I mean, the character doesn't have that much screen time, but now, if, we have his own movie, there's going to be legit, scenes with this character. We're going to understand this character more, and he'll just be more than just a cool-looking character.
We're going to get character.
The character will be taken to a further level and expanded upon, where an audience could really see the motivation and what this character is about, more so than, like I said, Boba Fett was literally just a cool-looking character. So yeah, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Oh, well.
Any final thoughts before we move on?
Boog, Pharaoh, final thoughts?
I didn't see it.
No, that's great. That's a great add-on, Boog.
Wow.
No, not really. You guys pretty much summed it up. Like I said, I think it looks promising for sure, and I'm definitely excited that we're gonna get a lot of in between movies like Emiya mentioned. So, looks good.
All right, people. Civil War. Press audiences, we're just showing the film, I think on Thursday or on Wednesday, and a lot of them sent out tweets right after. All, of course, not spoilers because they couldn't say any spoilers that we didn't already know or anything like that due to legal reasons. But the reviews are glowing. People are giving it really strong reviews. And of course, with those strong reviews come snide comments at Batman versus Superman. And what this film did better than the other. What do we all feel about these early great reviews on the film? Does it mean anything to you? Does it not? What's up?
Yeah, I sent you guys that link. I don't know if you guys checked it out, but this is a good example of all the buzz this is getting.
I didn't read any of the information. Like I saw the headline and I heard people talking about it, and overall I heard that it was, good first reactions. But excuse me, but I didn't. I don't know what was said actually. So maybe you guys could clue me in. I'm happy that it's getting good early reviews though. Did Batman versus Superman get good reviews early? No, right?
No, it didn't.
No, it was very
Very
divided.
mixed.
It
Yeah.
was very divided. Some people said it was a mess. Some people said that they didn't care.
Well, the Warner Brothers screening that had great reviews.
Yeah. When it's Warner,
The Warner Brothers screening really was standing ovation. The Warner Brothers screening was apparently incredible. Guys are saying just we should win all these awards and everything.
Yeah, it's funny because you're sitting in the audience with like all of your bosses and shit. You gotta like fucking show out.
hey, boss, man, this is the greatest film I've ever seen, boss.
Right.
Yeah, right. I'd be like, this shit. If I didn't like it, I'd be like, this shit sucks.
I'm looking for this thread real quick. I got a few
I
notable
read
things.
some reviews, whatever. I mean, I hope every superhero movie is good. To be honest with you, man, I don't want them to stop making it. It's pretty much the only thing that I actually pay money to go see. So I mean, I have absolute faith in Captain America movies. I didn't really like the first one, like I said in a previous podcast, but the Winter Soldier was the best Marvel movie in my opinion, hands down.
You know
And
what?
so
I never even watched the first one a full second time. So that shit was.
I don't know. I did, and I think showing as an origin story, I guess it was okay, but I mean it was. I don't know. It was just a lot of shit he just didn't do. He just wasn't Captain America. To be honest with you, he wasn't Captain America even in the Avengers movie, the first Avengers. He still wasn't Cap to me. He didn't become Cap until I seen him in Winter Soldier.
No doubt.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I didn't really like Cap as a character until Chris Evans' performance, and I'm like, shit, he made Cap a badass. He made Cap into Jason Bourne.
Okay, well, we're not gonna go into that goofy shit, but seriously, I mean, he really, I mean, he took authority and everything, and I was like, okay, I really see him as Captain America, and I mean, I really need what it really was to me is I needed to see him in the same light how should I say Robert Downey stepped into the Tony Stark role. I mean, you really can't see anybody else being Tony Stark after you've seen Robert Downey Jr. playing. It's like he is Tony Stark. So I need to see that from characters or whatever. And if I don't see that the actor actually like owns the character, I pretty much I don't really want to see the shit.
Well, it's more than just the actor owning the character. I mean, the thing is, the reason I think people are so hurt about the whole Superman thing is because these characters, Batman and Superman, are extremely well known, like all over the world. So people seem to have a more preconceived, image of what they consider these characters are. A lot of people don't understand. They don't realize now, but when you look back, while characters like Iron Man and Captain America, those like Thor, while they had comics and stuff like that, and people knew who these characters were, they weren't really very relevant in the general like media. So
In pop culture.
their personalities are very, very just kind of. If you go back and you read Captain America and Iron Man comics and Thor, well, particularly Iron Man, they're almost the same character. They're very similar. They're just these stoic Caucasian guys. That's what they are. And the difference with them being portrayed in the films is they were given a more distinct personality. And then it's a perfect example of someone like Robert Downey Jr. He basically redefined the Tony Stark character. After the movie, suddenly, Tony Stark is all snarky in the comic. He's all, he acts like the one in the movie, but he never. But if you go back from the pre-movie stuff, he didn't act like that. He doesn't. He was much more stoic, much more your kind of stoic Caucasian, your stoic white guy character, stoic male lead in the U.S. And that's what it was. Captain America was he acted much older before, but now he acts a lot more. He'll always say so. Hey son, how are you doing? Very very stiff, very he talked like an old man. But now when you read comics, he acts like the Chris Evans one. So it's a different, these characters are now redefined, and we have a distinct personality of how these characters are done, inside, in fiction. So that's pretty much what it is. And like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why people were so worked up about the whole Batman Superman thing, is because these characters are so well known. These guys have this image of how these characters are supposed to act in their minds. So when it veers off of that, people get oh, well, that's not how this character is supposed to be, or anything, or not how that's not what he would do, because they have this preconceived image of what this character is.
The reality is that Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, they all had they've never had a place in pop culture before their
not like now. I mean, perfect example, Starlord. Dude, if you read older Starlord stuff, before the Guardians movie, he doesn't act anything like that. He's a very serious, stoic character. May crack a joke once in a while. Dude, now he completely acts. It's like he's a totally different character.
Now he's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, now he acts like the Chris Pratt. It's a totally different thing. Like I said, these characters their personalities are not as distinct before. I mean, they're just your stoic.
Even the biggest, aside from Iron Man, one of the biggest changes in characters after the films, was fucking Nick Fury. This ordering jackass, all of a sudden turned into a smart dude that always planned ahead of everything else, and he always saw the this and very different.
They turned him into a chess player, basically.
Exactly.
But you know what? That was actually a very good move to let the actual cinematic side of everything decide where they would take the comic versus trying to make the comics. Versus trying to make these guys fit into a comic role, because I think that's actually a harder task to okay, we want you to act like this comic, and then you sit down and these guys are picking up all these different comic books, and these characters are referenced a million different fucking ways in these books, depending on who wrote them and the artists and everything. You're like, well, shit, I don't, I just think that's a really smart move.
The other big thing, Pharaoh, expanding on what you just said, it is a smart move, because at the end of the day, your average Joe, out there is not going to pick up a comic and read it. He's going to go see the movie. So, the movies are the thing that make the most money. It's the thing that reaches the most audiences. That's the thing that's going to determine, where the direction of these characters are going to go. That's you look at Star, too. Starlock looks exactly like he does in the movie now. He doesn't wear that uniform anymore. In a lot of comics I've seen, he's wearing the trench coat and everything.
The militant uniform does not exist.
It's gone. It's gone, because that doesn't match the current image of that character. How he's supposed to look like a bounty hunter. That's what he looks like.
His wife right now, Kitty Pryde, she dressed exactly like Chris Pratt now.
Yeah.
Even the girl.
So I mean, the movies are the thing that make the most money. They're the things that are going to determine where the marketing is going to go. So, it also determines the push. Again, Guardians, being such a popular. And I always bring up Guardians because, that's the perfect example of something that was virtually unknown. And they pushed the comic now. It's considered probably like the biggest title for their cosmic lineup because of the movie. That the movies do play a huge part, and it's like Pharaoh was saying that the movies, what's done in the movie, what is proven successful in the movies, what they carry into the comics these days. They even turned Nick Fury black. They're black Nick Fury way more popular than white Nick Fury. So
Yeah, and I mean, look at another person, was is someone like Paul Rudd, who completely changed Scott Lang too. Scott Lang was more of like a modern Deadshot almost, where he was doing the wrong things for the right reasons, and he different from Deadshot, actually became a hero because of it. He was more on the serious side. And you see Paul Rudd, he was nothing like Scott Lang in the comics. He's fucking cracking a joke.
Now Scott Lang acts like the one from the movie.
Yeah, he cracks a joke all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all at random all the time now.
I mean, I think some of the things in the movie universe just made more sense to me, period, anyway. Like, even with going back in the Age of Ultron, just having Tony Stark create Ultron versus Hank Pym, it just made more sense. That's more like Tony's field. I mean, it's just certain things they do. I don't think that are bad
back
ideas.
in the day, the reason they had Hank create Ultron was because they wanted something for Hank to do. They didn't want Iron Man to do everything, so so it makes sense. And in the sense, the movie universe is also more streamlined. There's not as many characters as the comic universe, so by doing it that way, it simplifies a lot of things. And like you said, it's not really his field either, so it's more Tony's field to do something like Ultron. So it does make sense. So
yeah, and even in before the films, and we had any idea of what Ultron was going to be like in the movies. Even in the first original Avengers original Avengers cartoon, Tony was consulting a lot on Ultron, and him and Hank Pym were partners in that show, the now canceled show. What was it called? It was Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. In that show, him and Tony are like partners on Ultron, and it made a lot more sense even from that point, where it was just I think only Iron Man 2 had come out at around that point, and it made a lot more sense for him to have somebody spearheading the project and Hank just working on it with him.
I mean, it just goes to show you how good the characterizations in the movies are, because they make these characters so memorable for fucking everybody. Like you said, nobody knew who Scarlet Witch was, 3-4 years ago, but now, I'm setting up the display at the movie theater, and I got little kids over my shoulder looking as I'm doing it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Scarlet Witch! Oh my gosh, Vision!" And
they did.
Yeah, they did, dude. Trust me. But then you got older dudes. Then you got older dudes. Also, they're like waiting for the movie. I went to go fix some stuff that had fallen over, and I put Vision aside. And they're like, "Oh man, that's Martian Manhunter." I'm like, "Dude, come on. Even kids know that this is the Vision. Come on."
Yeah, Martian Manhunter's cooler. That's all.
It's going to be, from the early reviews that we've seen, just as you'd imagine, Spider-Man is getting the most love.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying Spider-Man, best character they've ever done. They're going crazy for Spider-Man.
Right. Let me read some of these early Buzz reviews that people are putting in. They're just little tweets. They're saying Civil War is a Barry Bonds steroids hitting home run by Marvel, and they love Spider-Man. And they're saying he's actually got about 20 minutes of screen time, almost 30 actually, because you get maybe 1/3 Peter Parker, and then the rest is all Spider-Man. And the airport fight is something a lot of people are praising too.
Yeah, everyone is saying
everyone's making fun of it, right? Yeah. At first, but now these reviews are coming out and they're saying it's the best part of the movie.
Everyone is saying that it's the best fight scene that Marvel's ever done, apparently.
Right.
Well, that's good to hear, man, because that one still that they got looked cheesy as fuck.
Right. They're all running at each other. That shit looked corny.
But here's a quote from Screen Junkies. They're saying that airport fight, the Russo brothers know how to stage a proper superhero brawl. Sunglass emoji. They're taking their little shots at Batman v Superman, and with reason.
And no spoilers, because there actually, now that I think about it, there was a spoiler in one of the tweets. Who I thought was going to be fighting with somebody else that wasn't in the trailer was 1,000% right.
Really?
Happy to report that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's fighting someone else that I thought that we never saw in the trailer, sure enough, was confirmed by one of those tweets.
Right.
I cannot wait, man. It's looking really great. Even the negative reviews of it, were
Mhm.
more just like you could just tell they were more like film reviewers than comic driven people, which is totally understandable. You don't come into it you know with that mindset. You're not as forgiving for things that they do because it is a hero film and there is a lot of them to manage. It's harder to get these more serious reviewers that aren't as forgiving to
Mhm.
When is the first Spider-Man movie due?
It is due in 2017, July 7th.
Okay, so summer of 2017. All right.
I think it begins. I think it films in the summer of this summer.
Nah, he had to already been filming it already. What do you mean?
Right. I think he's already filming that.
I don't think we know that they've started filming already. Actually, I believe they are waiting for the summer. I mean, it's New York. It's kind of impossible to film in New York in the wintertime. So if anything, they could be filming right now as we speak. But New York in the winter, there's a reason nobody films in the winter.
Well,
Right.
I mean, they could film indoors. They could take care of all the CGI shit. It's not, it's not like everything's on location. But I feel you.
Yeah, true enough.
But
But I heard they were going to be filming it in I believe Georgia at first, but there was that whole controversy about the Georgia governor not wanting to sign like a marriage equality bill, and so because of that, Marvel put out a statement saying like, listen, we're not gonna film over here if you guys are doing this, that, and the other.
I think they were filming in Georgia for the suburbial, for the suburbial pieces.
I'm
What
not.
does
I'm not
what does the
100%
deal
sure.
have to do with them filming?
I'm not 100.
It's just like it's a stance that Disney took, basically. Like, they're about equal rights for everybody, and if the state doesn't do that, they're basically threatening to take away the film industry of. And it's not just Disney; it's several other studios that said the same.
Yeah, many major.
Georgia is big for filming, and so if you take that away, they lose a lot of state revenue.
Yeah, many major studios have pulled out to just show support for the LGBT community. That they are not supporting a state that doesn't support them.
Excuse me, it's
no,
LGBTQ, you insensitive fuck.
no way you could go against Hollywood and the industry with that type of thing. I mean, that's who runs Hollywood. So, like, you're nuts to think that you're gonna like snub that community, man. It's just not.
Just like North Carolina right now. North Carolina has the All-Star game next year, and it seems like the NBA is looking to do anything they can to pull out because of what they've done.
Mm.
So it's looking like any of these states that think that it's cool to ban anything like that is gonna end up getting fucked over pretty badly.
Man, the South is still very stuck in their ways, man. The South is still racist as fuck for everything, not just gays and lesbians. Still with black people, there's still people probably getting hung in the fucking South. You know what I'm saying? So
we don't have Poncho with us right now, but he lives in South Carolina.
Right.
Poncho, are you alive, Poncho?
He can attest stuff. But y'all reminded me that they showed the Black Panther Hot Toys figure, which looks really, really good.
Oh man, that looks crazy nice.
Yeah, Harvey gonna be all on that.
Yeah, definitely.
I was telling Emiya just the other night when we were discussing it. I had some things I would have done differently, but it definitely looks nice.
Did anybody get the Black Panther #1 hip hop cover?
No, I saw you post on your Instagram though. You know what? I kept seeing that cover, and I should be ashamed of myself that I didn't even realize the reference and shit.
Yes, you should. You should be very ashamed of yourself. Shit.
But yeah, very, very dope though.
Yeah, man, I got it more just even for the reference of the cover than actually the Black Panther and shit.
For those that's out there that don't know and stupid like me, it's Marvel has been doing a lot of these hip hop covers over like the past year and stuff, and they got Black Panther referencing a Jay-Z album. Which album was that? Volume 2?
Black Album.
Black Album,
yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks dope. They got Black Panther pulling down his mask like Jay-Z was pulling down his fitted, so it looked dope. But what else? Hot Toys? Anything else? Hot Toys?
Yeah, somebody mentioned in the comments the Hot Toys Black Panther is about to go up for pre-order, and that looks hype. Everybody's talking about it.
Is it tonight? Is it going up tonight?
Probably not tonight. But possibly on Tuesday, I assume. Sideshow usually does they usually put stuff up for, or sometimes Monday. Hot Toys don't really have the fall on the schedule. They usually put up their pre-order stuff Thursday, but for Hot Toys stuff, they put it up any day. As soon as usually Hot Toys does the reveal like Thursday going into Friday. So that's when, right after that, shortly after they'll put it up. I'm guessing the price will be like $240.
Hey, Emiya, when does more of the figure arts go up for pre-order? Do you know?
Which one?
For the Civil War? Any of them? Black Panther.
Ant-Man was the last one they
Black
announced.
Panther might probably be in the next draw.
You say what now?
Black Panther will probably be in the next drop since they've already revealed that figure. So I'm assuming will be in the next drop.
I just like to try to get the information so I don't have to get up every fucking morning and check out Miami.
I'll ask your dear friend, the Rick Dom right here. He can send you a message when we're on the drop because me and him are always on the drop.
Hey, I send messages, and everybody's asleep over on the East Coast, man. They don't have the don't
Yeah,
have
I mean,
they don't have the
juice.
they don't have the juice.
Man, ain't nobody gonna be there. It'd be it's midnight where you at. It's 3 a.m. here, man. Ain't nobody sitting up looking at Miami at 3 in the morning.
They go up at 3 a.m. That's the time they go up.
Yeah, they have to go up at 3 a.m.
Actually, it's 3 a.m. for me, so it'll be 2 a.m. for you, right? Because you're 1 hour.
Right.
So it's 3 a.m. for me, 2 a.m. for you. That's when they go up. Yeah.
The earliest I'd be able to tell you that they're gonna go up is about 9 to 8 p.m. my time, because that's when the listing.
Basically, midnight for me, 11 p.m. for you.
That's cool. I'm glad I know that.
11 p.m. I can tell you.
You know what? I can also send you a message too. But I figured, you and Rick.
Hey man, all of you can send me messages.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
You hear that, live chat? Everybody send Pharaoh Black a PM when those go up for pre-order. Everybody.
Not you. All you know about is top of the line trash. You keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
But the chat, though, everybody in the chat, please do so.
But before we move on to the next topic, Emiya, was there anything you wanted to say about Civil War early reviews before we go on?
I think everything that we've seen so far is pushing toward. Considering the first, I guess this past weekend was the press viewing, and the next week is the public pre-screening. So I think this week, we're since a lot of critics, so it looks like it's gonna be, and people are obviously more picky after Batman versus Superman, with a lot of, since so many people were disappointed in that. I think we have a good idea that if anything, it's definitely gonna be at least solid. So, I'm hopeful. I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna go in, in my mind thinking it's. I don't usually like to go in the movie with any kind of expectation, but this one I have a little bit of expectation. It's gonna be at least pretty good. So, I've always said that it's probably going to be, for the superhero films, the best film of this summer, without a doubt. So,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Black Panther is getting a lot of buzz. They're really loving him. Almost, I would say even more than Spider-Man a lot of the time.
The most serious character in the movie.
Right, yeah. They're saying he's very regal, very badass, full of rage, the most serious character in the movie. He steals the show, apparently. And
he got to be.
Here's another quote. The Black Panther stomps Peter out of the water in the Battle of the Debuts. He is the highlight without question.
Now, I believe
to say that over Spider-Man, that is a lot.
I believe.
It just depends on how much you like the character. Obviously, a lot of people are saying Spider-Man steals the show. I think a lot of that is, a lot of people love Spider-Man, and there's a lot of people, especially the, this is the first major black superhero. On the big screen, he's going to have his own movie and everything. So this the black community, obviously the colored people community is very, very excited and very.
Whoa! We're getting back.
Yeah, we were just talking about the South.
What do you got? One of them fucking Confederate flags above?
Stars and bars forever, y'all.
People are, especially, all like I have a lot of black friends, the Kokujin friends, and a lot of the Kokujin, brothers are very, very, very excited to see this character.
A lot of your Negro friends are excited.
But again, it's one of those things where a lot of but a lot of people are just really excited about that character. So you know, of course, you know, I think
He's about to sell a ton of merchandise. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean,
I for one can't wait for the Colored Panther.
Right.
Hey man, they got those toys at Toys R Us right now, and the Black Panther's a white kid and the Captain America's a black kid.
Oh, we don't need to get into that. That was so dumb.
They're trying to hook you, man. They're trying to hook everyone.
All right.
I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They don't want you to be like, okay, hey, black kid, you have to buy this Black Panther costume. That is
white kid, you better be Captain America. You know,
like, you know, but
I understand why they're doing it, but come on, man. You know,
right.
the community finally gets a black hero in the limelight, and you give a white child the costume. You know.
Well, no, I mean, but you know,
anyone can be Black Panther.
but typically you have all kids of color, as Emiya likes to say. you have all you know, nationalities. It's okay for them to be the character that's Caucasian. You know, I mean, like seriously though. I mean, you have black kids running around Captain America costumes, Batman costumes.
All this shit is arbitrary though. They had a little boy wearing the Captain Phasma costume. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no one gives a shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's always been okay for, you know, I mean, you like the character, everyone dresses up as the character. But then it's that unspoken thing where the black character comes out, you never see any of the white kids as that character.
Yeah.
Like seriously, you go trick or treat or whatever, you never see the white kid as War Machine.
Maybe they should. No, actually,
dude, I liked War Machine way more than Iron Man when I was younger. He had a way cooler name, way cooler suit of armor, color motif, everything.
Iron Man sucked when we were kids. He was written so terribly.
Well, I'm talking about the old animated series.
Yeah, he was boring as shit in that.
I mean, I think you're missing my point. It's just the whole thing of, I mean, it's like when I was growing up and He-Man and G.I. Joe and all that was the thing. You know, kids could be He-Man or whoever else, and when it came down to it, or it's like
nobody was the Clamp Champ.
You say what?
Only the black kids wanted to be Clamp Champ, but a white.
Right, like with Ghostbusters. Hey, I swear, with Ghostbusters, when that was a big thing and kids were being Ghostbusters, the only kids that were Winston were black kids. I'm serious. You didn't have a white kid running around talking about I'm Winston. Even look at the old cartoon. Look at the old cartoon. That man did nothing but drive the car. I'm no bullshit. You look back on it, he didn't do shit. He had one episode, I think, where he wasn't driving the car, and the episode was actually about him.
Well, you know what? They was talking about that with the new Ghostbusters flick. How all of the leads, the white leads, the Caucasian leads were like scientists and stuff, and then the only black chick was just some like book clerk or some shit. She had like
a subway attendant or some shit.
This man just called her a bugaboo.
No, I said she was like a bookaboo clerk or some shit.
Oh my gosh!
Shit, I thought you just said bugaboo.
No.
You can't help us over here in the lab, but that bitch drives a mean automobile.
No.
Man.
Yeah, we got to get up to speed with our racial terms here. Because we got Boog saying mulatto a couple weeks ago. We got colored this week. This is weird, man. We should move on.
Mulatto. Damn.
What's the proper term?
Bullet learned that shit from somebody in his family, somebody older.
What's the proper term? Mixed?
I think it's just mixed. It doesn't. Yeah, it's just mixed, I guess.
Garden salad.
Blended, like that Adam Sandler movie.
What'd you say? A garden salad.
Garden salad, man. There's all types of greens.
Hey man, you can't really knock Boog though, because I had some mulatto cookies the other day.
Those are called Milano cookies, not mulatto cookies. Those are Milanos, not mulattos. There's a huge difference.
What are they called? I don't know what they were called. Somebody gave them to me and said they were mulatto.
No, Milano, not mulatto.
Wait,
that's a new word, Boog. Milano.
Which ones are the Milano ones?
Those are the ones with the chocolate in the middle.
It's like a shortbread cookie with chocolate.
Shortbread cookie with chocolate in the center.
Oh, okay.
They're shaped like an oval.
Mm.
The peanut butter joints is my joint, man.
Do you remember when people used to call each other mulattoes? Pepperidge Farm remembers. All right. Now we're moving on. For reals this time. So, thanks to our buddy Rectangular, we got some leaked Marvel Legends news for the next 2 waves. What do we think about that?
What was that? The Build-A-Figures?
Yeah, the Build-A-Figure for Spider-Man is going to be Space Venom. In the case is going to be a classic Electro, classic Hobgoblin, Ultimate Spider-Man Peter Parker, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Silk, and some different version of Spider-Girl or Spider-Woman. I don't know the version, but there's a picture of her. I just don't know her name. So that is the Spider Wave.
So the only ones we didn't see yet was obviously Space Venom, the different version of Spider-Girl, and the Electro, right?
Yeah, those are the only ones we don't have pictures of the figures, but we have like the card pictures. And for the X-Men wave, we have Havoc, we have Iceman, but he looks more like Ultimate Iceman. But I think that's just how they draw him in every universe now.
You know what? Yeah, I think he's been like that in the 616 universe.
Yeah,
now.
I think he's just like that now. Yeah, we have Rogue, looks like Jim Lee version. Phoenix looks like Jim Lee version. We have a classic-looking Kitty Pryde.
Fuck
we have
yeah.
we have that modern Cable with the really ugly chest.
I'm not really digging that Cable. I don't know why they picked that.
Yeah.
That was such a mistake with that chest, man. I'm gonna have to switch that shit up and put something else on it.
I don't even know why they picked that design. That's not even the fucking
Yeah, dude, just go
popular Cable.
just go with Messiah.
Because something that they're
Messiah-
going to make down the line is going to have that same body mode. That's why.
Well, it's the
Messiah
same body mode as Nuke.
Yeah, it is.
Should be nothing but Messiah Complex, you know.
Right. Messiah Complex or
Or classic X-Force.
well, I guess he was kind of wearing the same thing in Second Coming, and yeah, I guess Messiah Complex came right before Second Coming, right? Yeah.
It's everyone's, you know, at least modern day envisioning of what they think he should look like. So I don't know why they went with that. We have modern Deadpool, and we don't know what Wolverine it is, but they have a picture of a Wolverine like with his back turned. That's supposed to be in the wave as well, and the Build-A-Figure for that one is going to be Juggernaut. And so basically, what's our thought on these 2 waves? Like it, hate it, why? Boog, go!
Well, you know what? I was looking at my at all of the good Toy Biz villains that they put out, and all of the good like Toy Biz like Spider-Man villains and just villains in general. And they have Hasbro's pretty much almost redone every one of those good villains so far. What we thought was good for that time. So I think we well overdue for a good articulated Juggernaut figure. I know people fucking love the Marvel Select Juggernaut. I'm not in love with that figure. I mean, it's a great sculpt and it's massive or whatever, but it's not really in scale with Legends, and you can't move it how you really want to. I'm excited to see what Hasbro will do for a nice, modern, updated Juggernaut. So I'm all for that. I know people probably really wanted to see Apocalypse, but I don't want to see Hasbro fuck up Apocalypse like they doing with Cable that we just talked about and give us some version that we really don't want. But yeah, Juggernaut, they might throw us for a loop. We're still not 100% sure on that. It could be this Juggernaut Colossus crap, which I hope it's not. I hope it's a regular classic Juggernaut. I'm thinking that they're gonna go with the classic because I'm thinking they're gonna end up with that's the X system.
Juggernaut, Colossus, and Juggernaut.
Yeah, he's right. You could do an Absorbing Man basically, where one figure comes with 2 different arms and a head, and then the other figure comes with 2 different arms and a head.
I thought about that too, and if they did that, I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with that. But
yeah, so you get both, but it shouldn't just be Colossus Juggernaut for sure.
No, I can't get with that. But I could definitely see them doing some sort of change up like that, like they did with the King Thor and Odin and whatever. But especially since they seem to be doing a lot of stuff from comic books in the past 4 or 5 years too. But yeah, Spider-Man waves is always money. Definitely excited for Miles Morales and the Ultimate Peter Parker. Those are new molds. This is a smaller mold. I wasn't a fan of how like the feet looked on those when I saw them at Toy Fair, but the mold looks good. I mean, it has all the articulation and it's just
The feet on who?
the feet on those smaller bucks, the new bucks for the Ultimate Peter Parker,
Oh,
and
they are actually new bucks. I thought it was just the Pizza Spidey.
nah, it's smaller.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
you were actually at the Hasbro event, right?
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like a teenage body. So I'm thinking that we'll get a teenage Nova on that buck probably. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure what other kind of kid characters or teenage characters, male characters they could do, but
They need to do just a plain clothes fucking Peter Parker and stop messing around.
they can. But I bet you will get a Nova, a young Nova on that buck. I bet
Oh
you.
yeah, for sure. He's so popular.
Yep.
Gotta have a more younger
Pretty much
looking
the main
Nova.
Nova right now, anyway, right?
Say it again.
He's pretty much the main Nova right now, anyway, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope that the unmasked Peter Parker head from that Ultimate Spider-Man will actually fit on the Pizza Spidey.
Oh man, please. I fucking hope so.
I mean, you know how big of a fan they are of changing the neck peg all the fucking time, so we'll see.
With no rhyme or reason. I
Mhm.
don't
Right.
make any sense.
Or they'll make it where the shit doesn't even come off at all for no apparent reason.
Like what? This one
I mean,
does.
Hasbro should be used to that shit. They got that superhero mashers line. Everything works in that.
Yeah, man. We want the same thing, but not whack.
Yeah, less gimmicky, more functionality.
Yeah, absolutely. Pharaoh, what do you think of these two waves, Pharaoh?
I think that the whole X-Men wave is. I gotta buy them all. I don't know why. I just feel the need to buy them all, but I really only want maybe 4 or 5 of them out of the wave. But the Spider-Man wave definitely. I don't really care for that fucking cosmic venom bullshit, but the actual figures, man, pretty solid. You know, we just like he says, Spider-Man wave, man, you really can't go wrong with those waves. So
Yeah,
that's pretty much my thought on it.
it sounds really strong. I'm assuming that Electro's gonna be on the Bucky cap.
He
Body.
should be on the. He should be on a piece of Spotty book.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
imagine him more like thinner and spindly. So
Right.
that wouldn't be bad either.
But it's good that we're getting a classic Electro. I really think that they should do more classic characters pertaining to Spider-Man anyway.
We're getting classic Hobgoblin in that wave as well. So that's
I mean,
pretty cool.
right. That's cool too, man. I hopefully.
What we need,
Well-
it's going to be really hard to get because I guess you could pretty much like not really ever use the mold again. Is what we need is a new Doc Ock. I don't.
Well,
I don't
know why they haven't given us like a Sinister Six type box set for San Diego.
Yeah.
And I think
I mean,
if they do a new Doc Ock, they could definitely reuse that buck for, I don't know, Mole Man or something, just like a fat,
Mole Man.
stout guy.
I think the only problem with Mole Man is that it's a Fantastic Four. So,
Right. They don't like the Fantastic Four.
but you could always just assume that he's a fucking Avengers villain, which he has been before.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's other characters you could use. I just can't think of them right now. But there's definitely others you could use for a stubby, chubby mold.
Yeah, they'll put out Fantastic Four figures, but only if they're not in a Fantastic Four wave. Which
Yeah,
means we're probably going to get Thing in the next Guardians of the Galaxy wave.
well, they need to go ahead and quit playing around and make a damn Dragon Man build-a-figure.
Damn,
Yeah.
just watch the price on that original plummet. That'd be funny.
And this lady that goes to my local toy convention and has like 10 of those Dragon Man figures, and she has one loose for you to mess with to see what you're gonna get.
How much is it for?
How much is the loose one?
The loose one is I think 400.
Play with it until that fucking thing gets loose in the joints and say, man, I give you 30
Oh, dude,
bucks.
it already is loose because she leaves it out and she lets people mess with it. Like I've told people many times that before, the story. I back in the day, I used to see Dragon Man all the time, and at one point I even made fun of it with my friends. I thought it was so stupid. Thought it was the dumbest character ever. And there's a reason why a lot of people in my area have a lot of them. We had them flooding our drugstores over here, and what a fucking mess I made by not picking one up.
Yeah, I agree, man. My girlfriend, I'll never forget it. She made me put that fucking figure down. I had already had, just like 3 days before, I literally bought like $300 worth of figures. And then I had to go back to Toys R Us to get my daughter something at the time. And I seen it. I said, maybe I should buy this thing. It's kind of big, you know. And she was like, put that shit down. I'm like, all right, dumbass for me.
Ripped.
Right? You know what? Not even so much as that, because I pretty much was like, you know, she said put it down or whatever. She had already bought me some figures and shit, and I bought my own figures the day before. It wasn't a big thing. I didn't care about it. I didn't even know who the fuck Dragon
Did you
Man
go
was, to be
there
honest with you.
now?
Yeah. And that's why she doesn't go with me anywhere, really. Like,
Okay.
she fucked up big time.
So you bear a grudge against her now, still? For that day?
No, not a grudge. I'm just smarter. Right now, she can't look and tell me to put shit down anymore. Nothing.
Well,
Like, I don't listen to her at all.
And see, there you go, people. If there's anything you should take away from this conversation in the chat, it's that you should never let your girlfriend tell you to put something down.
She should put her shit down.
Boom, there we go. So as for what I think of these waves, great. You know, hopefully, like we just said earlier with Boog, you know, hopefully it's not just one Juggernaut or the other. We just get both. And if it is just one, then we get just the regular Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the Colossus one. I don't want just Colossus one. I love the Spider-Man wave. You know, my favorite Spider-Man is Ultimate Peter Parker. So that's my favorite Spider-Man of all time. So I can't fucking wait to get that. Hopefully the head looks like the comic version.
Yeah, hopefully he has the hair drapes. That's the
the
essential.
hair drapes. I love the hair drapes, man. Miles Morales is gonna be sick. I don't know if Spider-Girl or Spider-Woman, but her design looks very interesting. It's nice to not have that hunchback tarantula Miles Morales now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I hate that one.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to see that. I'm excited to see that new Electro. I don't really need the Hobgoblin, but I just like Pharaoh said, I just like the fact that they're redoing classic Spider-Man villains at all. I would have preferred a Green Goblin first, but a Hobgoblin is good too. I don't have that big of an affinity towards Space Venom, but I'll fucking take it. You know, it's better than you know having another Hobgoblin as a Build-A-Figure. No thanks. That X-Men one looks great. I love that version of Iceman. Like I said earlier, he looks like Ultimate Iceman, which is just what he always is now. So you could easily put him with Peter Parker. You know, have that whole little Ultimates friend group going on like they do in the comics. That Rogue looks alright, but you know, so much waiting now with that Rogue. I don't even fucking, you know, I'm not stressing over that Rogue anymore. That Deadpool, I'm not a big fan of that. Of him being on that body mold, being like kind of chubby looking. Like his legs look fucking huge. Like Deadpool never skipped leg day. Like they're
Sexy
big.
motherfucker.
Yeah, they're big. I'm excited to see what that Wolverine is gonna be. Because it looked like a cool character design. So I'm excited to see that one. You know, and just like I said before, Juggernaut, awesome. You know, hopefully it's either regular or both. I don't want Colossus Juggernaut. Mr. Emiya, what do you think of these two waves? I know we all know how much we love Marvel Legends.
Oh, you just skip right over the Colonel, don't you?
Oh, I thought you said already.
Not really. I chimed in here and there.
Hold your horses there.
Let the Colonel go first.
Colonel!
Everyone knows my stand on Legends. That's how I started collecting, and so when a new wave comes out, I'm basically obligated to get it. But I will admit that these waves and this Giant Man wave, I was actually pretty impressed with. So I do like the direction that Legends are going, and they're getting better as we go. So these next two waves, I think, have some pretty essential characters that I never got the Toy Viz version of. So I'm excited to get them now, like the Electro and Hobgoblin and Juggernaut, but hopefully it's the classic. Although I wouldn't terribly mind, like we said, if it came with parts for Colossus and for Juggernaut. But if it does do that, I'll only do Colossus, or I mean only Juggernaut.
Basically, do it like I don't know if you were ever involved in the series or not, but Marvel Universe, they basically had their basic Juggernaut, and then when they came time to making Juggernaut Colossus, they just pretty much gave it a new belt and changed the arms and painted the head a little differently. So could do the exact same thing. Would be just fine by me.
Let's see. I'm excited for that Deadpool. I'm jumping around, but Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles Morales definitely look good. I'm not a huge on the whole Spider-Verse thing, but I also grew up with Ultimate Spider-Man. Actually, when we got our not our first home computer, but like around the early 2000s when the Ultimate thing was starting up, we had our home computer, and I remember Marvel had a thing where you could read the first few issues of Ultimate Spider-Man for free. So those were like that was like a big thing for me at the time. I was like reading comics on the computer. It was like such a cool thing. But that's why I'm excited for that. But again, I hope that the head fits on other Spider-Man figures because we don't really have a solid Peter Parker. I know a lot of people are using that Victor Frankenstein from Penny Dreadful as a Peter Parker, but he's like pale as fuck and he has weird hair. So again, I'd like a classic Peter Parker, and I wouldn't mind if he has hair drapes because that's pretty essential.
Yeah,
I mean, the '90s cartoon had that, didn't it?
when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man, you have to have those hair drapes.
Mm-hmm. What else? Cable, yeah, I'm not really digging that version of it. What's the comic line that's from? I know it's right before Avengers v X-Men, so that event wasn't that spectacular, so I'm not like, I don't really care for it. So as far as like Space Venom as the Build-A-Figure, it's like whatever, I know it's a pretty modern interpretation of the character, but honestly, Venom to me is just the classic '90s Venom. Now, I don't even care for Agent Venom. I bought Agent Venom and I tore him to bits for fodder. That's I don't care for having that character. All these weird versions of Venom aren't something I identify with. It's the classic. So like, having it as a Build-A-Figure, I guess it means I don't have to get the entire wave. Like I don't really probably won't get Silk again because I don't really care for Spider-Verse all that much, but that just makes it easier for me because I don't have to buy as many figures because I don't care for the Build-A-Figure. And let's see. For the X-Men wave, Iceman, the Iceman I have is the classic from, I don't remember what series of Toy Biz, but it's the one that has the Sentinel hand that's like covered in ice. And it's a pretty wonky figure. Like the proportions are fucked up on it.
It's the one that breaks all the time on people.
Yeah. I was super careful with it. I barely ever touch it, and it's loose already, straight out of package. And I've had it for about 3 years now. So it's cool to have an Iceman that you can actually mess with without fear of breaking it. So are they gonna do clear plastic on that?
The best part of now that it's that he looks like the Ultimate version now in all versions pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you could multi-purpose.
Yeah. You could even kind of make him look like the Age of Apocalypse one a little bit. Havoc is from the Uncanny Avengers look, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I last saw. And I did start reading that book when the relaunch happened, so I'm familiar with that version of Havoc, and I think it was a pretty good read. But again, man, I want myself a classic Havoc because that old Toy Biz one is just wonky. It's got that Captain Marvel body that doesn't always work for everybody. Even on Captain Marvel, it doesn't really work that well. The feet are huge, and he's just really skinny and boxy looking. Rogue Jim Lee is a must. Gotta have that one. I have the 5-pack one from Toy Biz, and it is garbage.
The one with the dog face?
Yeah, the one that looks like Maggie Gyllenhaal with really bad makeup.
Yeah, like Maggie Gyllenhaal that was punched in the face by her brother for talking after her. Get up!
And then after she got punched in the face, she went to a beauty school and had beauty students just experiment on her. Go for it.
She went to the local Paul Mitchell school. Got picked up really quick. That sounds about right.
Jim Lee Phoenix. This is the green costume, right?
Yeah.
It's the green costume. So I don't have a version of that Jean Grey. I have the old, the one from I think it's the Puck series or one of those random like 5-figure waves that they came out with. I think it might have been Rocket Raccoon actually. Yeah, I have that version. So that's really the only Jean Grey that I really need. But if the Build-A-Figure is going to be Juggernaut, obviously I have to get this one anyway. Kitty Pryde, gotta have it because I don't have the other one. Cable, again, I don't really care for that version. And Deadpool, I don't have any other Deadpool, so this will be my Deadpool. Wolverine, I hope it's the brown costume one, but it's probably unlikely. Yeah, that's about it. I think they're the 2 solid waves. I probably won't get all of the figures in them, but they do look strong.
Mr. the Emiya, your thoughts?
I mean, I'll probably end up with some of them. Space Venom, I think, is cool. I guess I mean oddly that should technically be in a Guardians wave. They probably
Right.
just for like a Guardians or like a Cosmic wave.
They're saving the Thing for the Build-A-Figure for Marvel.
Oh, I guess.
Yes.
The Juggernaut, hopefully, people get what they want, which is the classic one. I don't know. This is just based on my. I mean, definitely it'll be more articulated, but the Marvel Select one, I just don't think that the skull will be able to match the Marvel Select one, just because the Marvel Select one has tons of unique parts and stuff like that. So, but I guess again, it'll be more articulated. So I guess people will be happy with that. I'm not sure about the whole I mean, the Colossus thing. It seems to be they like to focus on the modern stuff now, so it wouldn't necessarily be a big surprise to me. But I guess it would. You'd have to have, I guess, a new head, new arms. Is that pretty much it? Just new head, new arms?
I think he has a different belt, which is also very easy to just include with
Oh,
like
yeah.
whoever gets the head gets the belt for the figure.
Yeah.
Whichever
So
figure
I mean,
gets that.
I mean, it's something that's doable if they want to go that route. For the individual figures, I wasn't aware that the Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I think you and me, Rick, we talked about it like a little while back, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they actually have a young boy's body now, more of a shonen body, as you will. So I like to see that actually, just because I've always been very frustrated looking at these kid characters, these more like adolescent characters, and they're like on adult body. They're like the same size as the adult.
They're almost as tall as the Iron Man.
Yeah, so but that's always been kind of a thing that kind of bothered me about Marvel Legends. But I mean, they have the teenage girl body, so it only makes sense that you would have the shonen, the teenage boy body as well. So the other characters like Electro, I do agree Electro should be on the current Spider-Man body because he is more slimmer, more lean character. The Deadpool looks good. I think it looks like pretty much how, I guess, without the teleporter version that they like to do these days. And I mean, all the other characters, the Wolverine, we're always going to get new Wolverine figures. So I don't. Do we have any indication what version it is?
All we have is a character artwork.
Is the character artwork accurate to what version it's going to be?
We're not sure. It was just listed on the distributors list.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, generally speaking, for me, I prefer more modern Wolverines. But I mean, Wolverines are Wolverines. They'll always do new Wolverines. So, and I guess technically speaking, right now there is no real Wolverine figure on the market anymore. So it's time to put one out there again. So.
Yeah,
Right.
we have that one from that X-Men wave like 2
Yeah,
years.
that's 2 years ago.
Two years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's no Wolverine right now, and that one technically is the modern. Well, I guess not the most recent costume he had, but maybe the new one might be the most recent costume he had when he didn't have his powers anymore. That armored Wolverine or whatever.
Oh, the orange suit, right?
That orange
Okay.
one.
In the character picture, again, not knowing if it's going to be accurate or not. He was yellow and blue with longer ears.
Oh, so then Jim Lee won then.
It didn't look Jim Lee. Strange.
Oh, that sounds like the Jim Lee. That sounds like that '90s era one. Did he have the buckle, or did he have the?
All we see is the pec is the abs and up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you send me the picture?
Yeah, I'll send you the picture.
Send me the picture. But I mean, they're always going to make new Wolverine figures, so eventually every Wolverine is going to be done. I think. I just think we've been getting less of them because they try to stay away from doing X characters. So. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely end up with some of them, and sounds like it's, pretty, good that we're getting some of these characters. A lot of people have won for a while. I don't know about the Cable. I guess everyone wants the Cable to be what the one that the MU figure is based on.
Yeah, the Messiah
That
comic.
would be a nice one.
Yeah, and I guess this version is the one that's after that one.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. Well, hopefully the artwork is accurate, and in fact are getting the Messiah complex one, considering they already have the They already have like the 3D, sculpt of those parts. They just have to scale them up. So.
Yeah, well, we have the production picture. We already have the production.
Oh, okay. So that one we actually have a figure, like a picture of the figure.
Yeah, and it looks.
Okay. And it is that version that's after, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
With like the strange vest.
No. I mean, they like to do the more try to be up to date and stuff. So I mean, it's understandable. But eventually, they'll probably do that one that everybody wants to. So hopefully.
I just so you can comment on it right now. I just sent you the picture of that Wolverine.
Okay. I haven't got it yet. You sent it.
You know why? I think I put it in the in the show chat.
Oh, I see it. Never mind. I guess. Yeah, that is the Jim Lee era one, the '90s one.
Yeah, it looks like somebody else.
It's not Jim Lee's artwork.
Yeah, it's not Jim Lee's artwork.
But it's that version. It's definitely that version. It's not.
Yeah, it's like the Series 3 Wolverine.
I really hope they switch it up and it's the brown costume though. That's really all we need.
There could easily be a color.
I mean, all you need to do is take away the shoulder pads, and repaint them. Use the brown costume one. It's very easy to do. So once they have this body, that's fine, I guess.
I mean, they've been using the same Wolverine body as the Series 5 or 6 Wolverine from Toy Biz. They just changed the legs.
They changed the legs, yeah. You're talking about the previous brown Wolverine.
Yeah.
So.
And then they reused that body mold when they did the Red Hulk series ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Now they got the new Wolverine body mold. All they have to do now is come up with new boots and gloves, and they can just start using that body because that body's more fitting for Wolverine anyway.
Yeah,
the X-Force version just put the Bucky cap legs.
No. The X-Force version Wolverine, I think, uses all parts just for Wolverine. I don't think they've ever reused those parts for another figure.
Oh, I thought the legs were Bucky cap.
The chest definitely. The chest is the Series 6 one, the brown one.
Yeah.
The chest for sure. I'm not sure about the rest of the figure, but the
pretty sure the arms.
Yeah.
The arms up until the well, actually, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Up until the forearm when it turns into a glove.
Yeah. No, Pharaoh's digging it out. He wants to compare.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna even compare them. I'm just gonna I don't know. I don't know which parts they actually matched and whatever else, but I know that these aren't Bucky cap legs. This figure's like really stout. You know what I mean? The legs
got a stocky look to it. He's got a stocky look.
He's really short and stocky and wide looking.
That's
how
I mean, look. So.
And they definitely should. This is the body mold. They should see it. Period. So.
All right, what's up? We got any questions down in the?
Yeah, we got a bit of the Q&A, so we got a couple questions here already. Speaking of Marvel Legends waves, this guy, Raccoon Guy 33, he asked, well, it's very early to speculate, but I figured it'd be fun to ask. How would you guys feel about a man-ape being the BAF for a Black Panther figure to tie in with the film?
That would be sick.
Yeah. Umbatu, the man-ape. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I would take that. Any characters that we haven't had before at all, I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's Black Panther's? Oh, Storm. I was gonna ask what's his wife. It's Storm. Not anymore, right?
I think they broke up. But
yeah, 'cause she's hooking up with Wolverine before he died. So they could put out a new Storm in that wave too. Maybe a redo of a classic Storm.
A 6-foot black chick fucking with a 5'5" little Canadian.
He's got that jungle fever. You can't help it.
Ain't that something?
But you guys would all be down for a man-ape BAF?
Yeah. I mean, like he just said, you really can't be mad at new characters, period.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, kind of a follow-up question. What would be a dream BAF for Marvel Legends? Something that they haven't made that you'd like them to make into a BAF?
I wouldn't mind seeing that Sauron that they kind of teased at Comic-Con.
Yeah, Sauron would be cool. How want like the Watcher, or like some cosmic characters, like I don't know, high evolutionary, I don't know, random shit.
You know, I went up to them at the booth at Comic-Con and I told them.
You told them what? You just muted yourself,
Right.
Rick.
I told him.
I told them.
I told them at Comic-Con that everybody online was going crazy for that Sauron, and like, is this just going to be some? Because people were throwing out rumors and things that they heard, but I wanted to hear it for myself. And so when I asked them, what is the deal with the Sauron? Everybody was going crazy. Is this just a once in a time thing for a display? Is this actually going to be in production? And he said as long as people ask for it, it'll come out. So it's not some custom that they had commissioned just for the case. It is actually a production sample that as long as people ask for it, it'll happen.
You hear that, people? Ask for it.
I think I would like to have a Kingpin. I really think that the one we have is very outdated.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Kingpin of Customs?
Shameless plug.
I really think he messed with it.
I really think he messed with it. Oh my god, man! Shout out to Morgan, man, if he's listening to this. The Kingpin of Customs.
We gotta get a T-shirt like that. That says I really think he messed with it.
I really think he messed with it. Hell yeah, we definitely need a new Kingpin for sure.
He looks like the Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
All right.
If we get a nice massive Kingpin that has an ab crunch, money.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, moving on. What do you hope / predict Tamashii Nations will reveal for SH Figuarts DC line at SDCC? I saw one of your interviews with the guy from Tamashii Nations telling you about the reveals at SDCC. I think he's referring to your video, Emiya. Yes. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I didn't even know nothing about that.
I know some things, but I guess I don't think I'm really allowed to say. But I think just to more or less kind of put it out there, I think we are getting some things that everyone else is getting, everyone else is doing, and I think we're also going to be getting some things that no one else is doing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they do Batman, I really don't give a fuck.
Oh, I mean, Batman is always
right. So I'm always covered.
So you're safe because there's always going to be Batman. Anything DC related, any Japanese company will do will always Batman. Always will do Batman.
As long as they don't do those terrible split
Japanese company, any company is gonna always be Batman if they fuck with DC.
Well, just in general, like some people will start it off with Superman and stuff like that in the U.S. I mean, they don't always start off with Batman. You know, but a Japanese company will always start off with that because that's the most popular character for them.
Because Japanese company know what the fuck they doing.
So, but I mean, we'll get some surprises. If I took the hint correctly, we'll definitely get some surprises. But we're also seem like we're going to also be getting stuff that we're already getting from other companies.
Like Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that. You know, is definitely.
And undoubtedly, you know, all of these, you know, import companies are going to get into doing a select few characters from Suicide Squad, I'm sure. And I'm sure just
you know, like Batman and Joker,
Batman,
and Harley,
and maybe a Will Smith, you know.
I think Bandai Tamashii Nations right now is very eager to use their digital coloring process, so they're trying to do a lot of the live action properties right now for that reason. So you know, that definitely, and like I said, it's started off a little bit rough. I think the Michael Jackson was just okay, but then now currently, like the level it's at, I think it's really good. So,
yeah, that Freddie Mercury they put out looks amazing.
Mercury, the Bruce Lee, some of the
Obi-Wan
was really great. Yeah. So,
yeah, Obi-Wan's great.
Yeah. So you know, definitely look forward to that.
So, random question from a Colossal Customs. Do you guys? I think I know what he's talking about, but he asked, "Where's the stacked TV Dio / base from?" What
that is from a Joker. That is from a Joker statue given to people at one of the Arkham games when you pre-ordered. So just go on eBay.
Right, that's what I thought.
Just go on eBay, type in Arkham Joker statue, Arkham Origins Joker statue, and it'll come up. It's usually not that expensive.
Yeah, it was a pre-order bonus, but yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, just came with the collector's edition. So yeah, you just take the Joker off of it and then use it as a base.
Yeah, because the Joker's pose in one pose.
between 35 and $60, depending on what day you try to find it. But it's not like Rick said, it's not that expensive at all.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Let's see. New Mysterio, would that be a good thing?
Yes.
Hell yeah, we need a new Mysterio. Whoever said
Mhm.
that gets bonus points.
All
You know, we definitely need a new Mysterio.
right, bonus points for Zirak Imran. I believe that was the bad guy from Call of Duty 4. But anyway, do you guys think the Flash and Arrow TV show actor should be in the new Justice League movie?
Man,
I've spoken on this. It's a definite yes
No.
for me.
it's
No.
1,000% yes for me. I don't care what Pharaoh says.
No, the guy who plays Arrow, I don't care what anybody says. He's horrible.
Well, you know, you gotta give the guy the fact that he's a stuntman that became an actor. So when he's doing this shit, it feels very real. There's no strange cut to where you don't get to see the guy's face when he's doing these like crazy stunts. You know, you see his face. It's him every time. Stephen
That
Amell.
validates him as a great actor.
All I'm saying is Stephen Amell. You know, he's working his way every season. He becomes a better actor, whether you
Okay,
acknowledge
let
him
me
or
say
not.
this. Just let me say this. Okay, he's not. You know what? I'll take that back. He's not a horrible actor, but he's good for TV. It's like you know what? It's almost to the point to like Have you guys ever watched Supernatural?
No, but I hear it's
Okay.
great. I hear great.
Well, you are aware of this show called Supernatural. And
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. The guys that play Supernatural, that play on the show, they're great for the show. If you ever watch them in movies, not so great.
He was the one guy was pretty good in what was that spy movie with Henry Cavill? The man from Uncle. That was the same
didn't
guy,
watch
if I'm
that.
not
I heard that
mistaken.
movie was horrible. I didn't even
It
watch it.
was pretty good. It was pretty good. Not as good as Kingsman, I hear, but still pretty good.
But I mean, it's just I don't know. I just don't think that they should be in the cinematic universe. I really think that they should really cast some different people.
I mean, I will give, you know, my fanboying aside for the TV show characters. I do understand, you know, that there's a lot to explain with the fact that Arrow fucking he has all of Batman's villains. They're all his villains. They all origined with him. You know, it is very hard to explain that in a movie universe that and twist around a way to where Arrow just doesn't fucking look
Right.
like Bruce Wayne light. But you know, these actors, man, they put in a lot of hard work. They put DC in a different level and in a different category than what these films do. And at the end of the day, these two shows do represent the style of character that fans want to see. You know, there's a reason that people complain that these movies are too dark. You know that they're not hitting the tones that they like because they're so used to the tones of the show.
Yeah.
Much lighter tone. And just the reality is just what people like to
That's
see.
the same way as if you take the Daredevil from the show and put him in a movie. He would suck.
He's gonna be in the movies.
He's gonna suck.
They're all gonna be in the
They're
film.
okay for TV, and I'm not knocking the show because I watch the show. I binge watch it like most people do, and it's entertaining. But the only one that would probably be movie worthy would be The Punisher and The Kingpin.
I mean, all I'm saying is get prepared for them to be in Infinity War. They will be.
God.
So you know, just get your mindset in, get yourself in that mindset because they're definitely there. And I just think that there's room for both. You know, I guess you know it doesn't have to be one or the other. We have to have them separate for DC Universe. So you know, just enjoy them for what they are because we're obviously never gonna get them together, sadly.
What's the next question?
The next question is thanks for the figure arts info. Also, cloth capes, A.C.B.A. shop possibility because we need cloth capes for figures. Boog, where are you at on this? Capes?
You know what? If we could get somebody to work with us to commission them, like you know, it's hard work for one person to mass produce anything. You know, it takes a lot of work for Ty to work on the cutouts. It takes a lot of work for the stands. It takes a lot of work for the tendrils. Tendrils are in production right now. Cutouts are in production right now. But like, you know, we not
China.
Right. Basically, we're not China. We not, we don't got 100 people working on shit, so it takes a while. So, if we could get somebody to work with us and they wanna do it and make some money, then sure, I'm all for it. But it won't. I won't be selling no shit. That's for sure. So, but yeah, anybody out there who's been doing stuff on their own, as far as the cloth capes and stuff, that might want to take on a large job and make some money, then I'll at me. But I ain't about to sell no shit.
Yeah, if you can find us someone that can produce these capes for us and in a good quantity at a time, and send them over because we don't know that person.
You know what? My girlfriend is a costuming major in college, for theater and stuff. And whenever she looks at my figures or anything like that, she always gets little ideas for stuff she could do. So I've hinted at her like, yeah, maybe you should try making like a cloth cape with the wire or whatever. She's like, yeah, that'd be really fun.
Honestly, that's what it's got to be. It's not. It doesn't even have to be somebody that's engulfed in the community or anything. You just got to know how to sew. You just got to know how to, put the shit together. Like you might not have ever thought to market something to this particular audience, but you know how to sew your ass off. So
yeah, you know how to sew. You know how to sew. You can get it done in a good time. Then come our way because we fucking need it.
Right. So there you have it.
Colossal Customs asking again. Do any of us know Dwight Stahl and know if Hasbro will ever do a signature series like DC? I'm not sure what that means. Like an online subscription. We've asked them before, and
asked them that before.
Hasbro has said that they don't think the subscription model works for them. I don't think they know what they're talking about. I think that would work just fine. I just think they're trying to not be like Mattel.
Agreed. But
Mattel scared them off.
Yeah, Mattel's failures scared them off.
Well, you got to also understand that that service was really for a lot of figures. Well, originally for figures that they just wouldn't been able to sell in a damn store.
Right, but Hasbro could do it that same way. They could do it with all of these figures that they swear that they're not going to sell in the store, like
why do they have to when they drop them like in small amounts in the waves?
Like we could easily
ask for Rear Guardian.
We could easily have a fucking Nimrod because of a subscription like this. You're never gonna fucking get a Nimrod in a Target, in a Walmart, a fucking Walgreens. But you can get a Nimrod, through a subscription service. And like Emiya said, it's obvious that Mattel was not that successful, and it's definitely scaring them off. I just don't think they understand that it's because Mattel's product sucks.
Right. Yeah,
not because
they can go the Kickstarter route.
Yeah, man, go the Kickstarter route. We'll fucking pay for it, Hasbro. Get it together. And he also said, can you try and set up and for them to try to set up an Army Builder box set, Shield, AIM, Hydra, Hand Ninjas. They should. They should. Just put it up on Hasbro Toy Shop. Everybody's gonna buy it.
Right. Don't even tell anybody about it. Just do it and see how the response is. It'll be huge.
They could definitely do more with Hasbro Toy Shop. That shit is like.
It is
nobody ever goes there unless you're trying to get scraps from SDCC.
It is untapped. It's untapped gold, and it's not like fucking Mattel's web shop where you got to go through some fucking third-party hosting site that they use and fuck around on it and whatnot. It sucks. Another question we have from Zurak Imran again is do you guys think it's possible to get a Sandman bath using the Absorbing Man body with interchangeable arms, heads, hands, etc., etc.? And that's exactly the first thing that hit my mind when we got that Absorbing Man, was that it looked like Sandman.
Like I said,
for that. I don't have a classic.
I think they're going to be redoing all of the classic Spider-Man classic villains. I think we'll see all of them. We'll definitely see another Shocker because he's part of the Superior Foes of Spider-Man team, or the new Sinister Six. I don't know that they will do that they will tackle Sandman as a bath again, because if you remember, they put out that horrible bath like some years ago. I have it.
Right.
I have that bath.
That thing is impossible to build, by the way.
It took me. You know what? I'm lying. I got the whole thing at once. I sniped it on eBay, so that's the only way that I got it. I didn't build it.
Why was it impossible for you guys to build? Because I remember I built 2 of them. And
there's a specific part that's like impossible to get.
It was difficult to get, like for whatever reason. It was like that what was that big ass DC builder figure that took forever to build with all
Giganto?
No, it was like from the Green Lantern movie, but I still think it was like a
Oh yeah.
Oh, from the Movie Master line.
Yeah.
Oh, that was garbage.
that
Well, I
shit
don't know.
had like
I never did all of the figures
The
at one time.
parallax.
yeah, it had like 30 pieces and shit,
No, it was like 16 pieces.
which is nuts.
Still a lot, but yeah.
That's nuts.
A good number of the pieces were the same piece. The actual arm part, I think, was all the same.
Wow, nuts.
Man, I couldn't even name 16 characters from the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, it wasn't 16 characters that actually had a role in the Green Lantern movie at all.
They wasted a lot of fucking plastic. That's what they did.
As soon as they announced that they were going to have that giant bath, and it's going to take 2-3 waves to finish it, everyone knew automatically, like, either we're never going to finish this or this is going to be impossible.
Well, that's the same shit with this Batman versus Superman crap. The figures are garbage, and then the fucking build a. You can't even call it a figure. You're building a replica, fucking grappling gun. What's that bullshit?
Hey man, send me all your pieces. I want to build that.
What's the other builder figure that they got right now from with the Justice Buster or some shit? What is that?
Oh,
that
yeah.
is garbage.
I saw somebody post a picture on the page with that the other day. The picture that they put up looked pretty good though. I think it was Kal-El Kent. I think it was maybe.
I'm sure his ass. I'm sure his ass gave that thing a good wash because that thing looks like a terrible.
Nah. You could tell he didn't paint it though. It definitely needs some paint on it.
Yeah, it looks like a Fisher Price toy.
Yeah, Pharaoh, you don't want those parts for that grapple gun? I'll fucking take it.
I got you, because you can have all the parts.
I'm trying to build that.
I thought you liked Batman shit. Why aren't you building your own
I do
grapple
like
gun?
Batman shit, but what I'm saying is why waste my fucking time with a grapple gun when you could have just made that a prop and put that in a damn store?
Because you got to wait for NECA to get
They
the
got
prop
the
rights
belt
for
in the
that.
store. They got the mask. They got batarangs. Put the damn grapple gun in the store. They could have used that space, and I could have built a garbage doom.
That's probably what they thought. Like, hey, if we put a grapple gun as a build-a-figure kind of thing, and the people who already own all these stupid roleplay masks are going to get this thing.
Right. They're gonna buy all these garbage ass figures, and you need about 15 of them to build a damn grapple gun. Like, fuck that.
Hey man, this next question, it's all for Fabio. It's a NECA question.
Did somebody say NECA? What?
Man, you got this guy.
He pulled his pants off at that exact moment.
He's pitching a tent right now.
Raccoon Guy again asks, do you guys use the NECA Planet of the Apes Maurice and Luca figure as a stand-in for the Red Ghost Super Apes? I must admit, the words Red, Ghost, Super, and Apes have never been heard by me in a sentence before, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Red?
What was the question?
The Red Ghost Super Apes, and if we use Maurice and Luca from NECA Planet of the Apes as stand-in.
Man.
And I know those are from the Dawn of the
Red
Planet of the Apes.
Ghost. He's talking about Red Ghost from Marvel.
No, it's Red Ghost Super Apes.
Yeah, the apes that Red Ghost commands are like his henchmen or whatever. You don't know Red Ghost?
I don't.
I'll tell you
I don't.
what, I don't know no damn super apes. What is this?
Nah, man. Google Red Ghost. He's always got a few different apes.
Damn. This is definitely big ups to this guy for thinking about it, because this totally works. Raccoon Guy, this sounds ridiculous, and we're telling you this sounds absolutely ridiculous, that name. But that totally works. I'm looking at this right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's funny. I totally forgot, but that was the only reason that I bought some of the Planet of the Apes figures, was because I said, you know what, at some point they'll probably put out a Red Ghost, and knowing Hasbro, they won't give us the fucking apes. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get the Planet of the Apes joints, and I could use them as stand-ins if they ever put out a Red Ghost.
Listen.
Hey, whoever asked that question, he's lying. He didn't buy those apes for that. He liked them as Planet of the Apes. He spit that shit on you just right now.
Nah, I didn't know what the fuck Fabio was saying at first, because I thought it was a NECA question. But yeah, definitely.
Listen to this gem of a cutout from our good friend Red Ghost. Nothing gets in the way of the Red Ghost and his super apes. That's
That's
ridiculous.
amazing.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever read.
I mean, just going by the Wikipedia page, I already really enjoy the character, and I do see how the apes will fit in because he's got a gorilla, an orangutan, and a baboon. So all you really need is a
If
baboon.
you go, you know what, Fabio? Here we go. We got another one.
He was part of
if
the
you go,
intelligentsia crew.
if you go,
Some years ago.
you go with the modern Red Ghost. He's fat, and it looks just like Doc Ock's body.
Right. There you go.
That's three
Look, they're doing
bodies.
Hasbro's work for them.
There we go. You know,
Think tank.
Mole Man. We got Red Ghost and his super apes, and we got Mole Man. There you go. That's three right there.
That's what Hasbro need. They really do need a fucking think tank. They need to just get like 5 people from the community and hire them like every couple months to just come in and think of characters and ways to fucking make money and do shit, man. They need to hire us, actually.
Why would they do that when they're already scoping our polls on the low key?
NECA's already on it. You know, they're hiring Aaron Williams. So
Right, no doubt.
tell somebody at Hasbro.
And my contract is in the mail somewhere. I just haven't gotten it yet.
Gotta give them credit for. They definitely got they ear to the street and shit. They still, in tune with the fans for the most.
Unlike Mattel, who doesn't exactly have their finger on the pulse.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but we joke on Randy a lot, but he's definitely in tune with the community and shit, and on a ground level of things and shit. Hasbro don't interact with the community on that level. They on some we big time shit. We don't need to do that. So
yeah, it's as crazy as Randy is. That bastard will reply to every single tweet that you give him because he's so upset, and he'll have his ear to the streets. John Papa Sergio is not really a question, but he's stating, Spider-Man 3 movie legend still probably the hardest and most expensive line to get. I completely agree. That's why that Sandman is impossible to build.
Yeah, I have one of the pieces of that Sandman. I have the Doc Ock.
Around here, they had those things in abundance, man. I mean, wave after wave. I mean, even that stupid ass half symbiote and half regular Spider-Man, like all of that shit from the Spider-Man movies, all that crap just set around here, man. I could have got those waves with ease. Like I said, I went through 2 waves myself already of those figures.
Yeah, if you have that Sandman, go sell it. He goes for good money. It's very hard to get.
Lord.
I like him though. Like for the most part, what he actually needs is just a wash, just some paint and shit, especially on the head. The head sculpt is actually nice. It's just the entire figure has no fucking paint. There's no like shading or anything on it. If you got somebody who's nice with the paintbrush to just fix him up, it would look nice. It's still very weirdly articulated though. The way it moves is nuts. It's stupid. But if you paint it up, you could definitely get it to look nice.
All right. Is that about it for the questions? Some guy named Touchdown Pop wants us to give a shout. So,
That's a shout if I've ever heard one.
Touchdown Pop. So that's a hood ass name.
Right. Hey man, that's straight from Rikers.
Where
you copping all these keys from, man?
Be in the library
That's from the big homie Touchdown Pop.
Touchdown.
When I get, I'm getting all them shit, son. All of them.
Touchdown style, baby.
Nah, man, we just fucking with you, man.
Yeah, that's a fucking cool name.
Yeah.
So, well, you know what, son? We didn't do in a while. We didn't talk about like shit that we saw on the page like in the past week that we thought was hot. We haven't done that in a couple shows. So, anything that stuck out to you guys from the page this past week? I know my man Dallas went in with that Superman joint.
Oh, that was great.
That shit was nice.
You know who I really liked though was Seth Fuller, Black Lantern, his street setup. Oh my god, dude, that shit is photorealistic.
Yeah, definitely, very very nice. And yo, that's like a perfect example of somebody who's come up in like a short amount of time and really just put in mad work and just got mad nice in like a few months and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all around, like his all around game is his building, his painting, and his overall display work is very.
Right. And he's a law student, so he's busy as fuck on top of all that.
Word. So, definitely shout out to him. I think his Instagram is Black Lantern @Black Lantern, but it's not I don't think black is spelled all the way out. Let me.
No, it's lantern. That's not spelled all the way out. There's no E at the end.
There's no what?
There's no E at the end of lantern.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's at black BlackLanTRN. So at Black Lantern. So shout out to him. What else did we see? Dallas did his thing. He's Incurable Collector with an N and a K on Instagram. What else was hot this week? I see Pharaoh getting use out of Gupton's Dio, the Batman shots. Those came out nice. What else? I mean, y'all was on the page. What else I saw?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through it now because I know I saw something earlier today. You know, Tim Grayson does really good stuff with those mini-mates. He had that Punisher shot that he put up like an hour ago.
Yeah, I saw that. That was nice. That was definitely nice. He had the guy in the background on fire and shit. That was nice. Shout out to Tim Grayson, the young homie Tim Grayson. I think he's on Instagram too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, here's another one. Jake Leggett had that Speed Demon shot where he comes in out of nowhere and punches Superior Spider-Man. I really like the use of effects on that one.
2 panels. Dominic Roncalli had that Django Fest shot with him coming up. I got a lot of love on Instagram too. That was on our Instagram page. A lot of people like that on Instagram as well. Oh, and Mike Wang's shot was very well received on Instagram too. On our Instagram with the Boba Fett versus the Starlock pit monster.
Oh yeah,
that was dope.
That was sick.
Yeah, that shit is nice. What else?
I'm just gonna have to look through like the Instagram because there's a lot of random shots that need to get the more good shots need to get bumped up to the top.
I liked Brandon. I always mispronounce his last name. I don't think it's Deichler. I think it's pronounced some other way, but his Ghost Rider shot was nice, real clean.
I liked Michael Amsberg. A lot of the shots he did 2 shots with the ride back, and he did another shot too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, the one with the Jim Gordon?
Maybe.
He's got the guy at the suit, and then Ryback's like pushing him aside or something.
Right. Oh, and Derek Borky, that 1989 Batman shot was nice too.
Right. Oh, and Skanking Chris just got the Dio that he bought from Al Figure, so he was using that, and he did a really good shot with, I think it was the Arkham Origins Batman, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very like clean, vanilla posing kind of thing. That's what it's about. It doesn't have to be like an overly complicated thing, but it has to be clean, cropped, and contained. It doesn't have to be something crazy, although the crazy stuff does fly pretty well a lot of the time.
All right, fellas, I've returned. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, we missed you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the love in here.
Anything else? Any other shots we want to mention before we give out our plugs and say goodbye?
I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of these explosion shots and shit. Oh yeah, the new cat that came on the page. What's his name?
Guy?
Huh?
The Italian guy?
Nah.
I was about to say, come on, Boog. Don't do that.
Not him. Townsend, I think is his last name. He had the using the firecrackers in the shot.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people doing all these explosions. And...
Right, that's what I was saying. Though it's just I'm kind of over them, but the shots that he put up in the past couple of days were really nice, though.
Oh yeah, they look good. It's just like when you see them so much, they stop feeling as special.
Right, no doubt. But yeah, definitely shout out to the homie Michael Amsberg. We always talk about Mike. He's always.
Oh yeah, man. I was just about to say, I can't even think of one shot because he does so many a week. But Michael Amsberg, if he's listening to this, when it comes to wrestling pictures, nobody does it better.
No question.
Speaking of wrestling pictures, I'm looking at one posted yesterday by Y Draft Do, and it's Cactus Jack jumping off a ladder with the
man, that picture's
barbed wire ropes. So fucking sick.
This shit looks real. You see that picture, man? That picture's nuts.
That crowd, man. That Terry Funk. Here's the thing about wrestling. Yeah, these guys are taking the bumps, but they always like prepare when someone's about to give them an elbow drop. They always like scrunch up a little bit and like prepare their chest, stomach area to take the impact, and that's exactly how he's got him posed. So that's big if you know wrestling.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, all the third round entries are due tonight, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
gotta
you're
do
right.
mine as soon as I get off there, sitting in my scores.
I didn't do the resurrection round. I was too busy. I just bought a new bed frame and I spent like 3 days building that shit, and so I don't have a desk in my room right now.
Yeah, I broke the last one up.
We gotta.
Last one.
Everybody's got to post their entries for the next round tonight, right?
Yeah, that's for round 3. The
Right.
resurrection round was last week.
I'm sitting here trying to finish up my damn entry right now, actually. So.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at this Cactus Jack picture right now, and it's unreal.
Yeah, you know what we didn't talk about too? That was like real clean. That for whatever reason didn't like skyrocket. That I thought was dope. Jerry Gamboa's shot with Daredevil, with his like billboard with his name and shit on the back and a little bird at his feet. With
Right.
I never saw that picture.
That shit is fucking nice. I'm gonna bump that shit on the page right now.
Another wrestling photo I really liked was from Matt Goldberg. I don't know if you guys, anyone in the audience, saw WrestleMania, but Shane McMahon took a 20-foot elbow drop off the top of the Hell in a Cell onto the announce table.
He put that shot up as his main shot for his show Snapshot. It was on the fan page. Yeah, that was a nice shot too. All right, so I guess that's it for tonight. Obviously, we want to go longer tonight.
We have one more question.
All right, go for it.
It was Sonic Rockman X, who is a regular viewer. He wants to know what gives a really good infinite black background.
Well,
he's asking you.
Pharaoh shirtless.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There we go.
You know, you got a couple of different techniques that you could use. If you have a light box, you just gotta remember that you don't want any light hitting the back of the felt. And you know, you just pull your camera in nice and close. You'll see your camera change. You'll see the tone change as you pull it in closer or farther away. You'll know when it's really dark. But if you want to do the poor man's infinite dark, then you get yourself a nice big piece of black felt or a black towel, and you know, put that as your backdrop, and you bring the figures and whatever the subjects are, you bring them up closer towards the camera, away from the backdrop, completely darken the room, and light from above directly onto the subjects. You don't want the light to hit the back of the towel or the felt and snap away. You should be fine. If everything is dark and the only light is from above onto your subjects, then you should be able to get that nice infinite dark. And it doesn't matter what you're shooting with it should work out just fine. I mean, you may have to, you know, tweak the camera settings a little bit maybe, but it should work out fine for you. But
don't be using a fucking used towel, all right? Don't be using your used towel from like 3 years, the black towel. Don't be using your old black Led Zeppelin shirt.
Don't be using your jack off towel is what he tried to say. You don't want no white streaks on the
Yeah, Rick got a lot of experience in bad pictures with those.
Get off your cheap ass. Go buy a brand new black board or buy a brand new.
But remember, not all black poster board is created equal. Because some of them are a little more shiny than
others. A black poster board is not gonna really work how you want it to work. Now, a black poster board,
there's like felt ones too.
It depends though, because you could do it if you have like a diorama piece that maybe like a building that's got some spaces where you can see through the windows or the doors or something like that, and you have that in front, and then just use a piece of black poster board or something behind that to kind of give you some layers, then it will work. But if you just use the poster board alone, it's not going to work how you want it to. You need the towel.
A lot of light boxes come with really good sort of felt backgrounds. The one that I use came with that. What's important to know is that the material that the background has to absorb light, not reflect it. So if you get a black poster board, and you know the classic way to do it is to bend it so it goes from the floor and extends into the wall. But when you do that and you have a very reflective poster board, no matter where your light is, you're going to see a little bit of white, or you know, the reflection of the light at the bottom of the poster board where it curves. And if you crease it, it's even worse if you crease the poster board. So you got to make sure that it's not creased either, because any creases are going to catch light when they're going to create shadows on the backdrop. Even when I use my felt backgrounds, they come folded out of the package, so they have some creases on them. So I had to iron those out so that you don't get any of that. Yeah, that's about it.
That's all the questions?
There's a few more from the same guy, actually.
You just hit him out quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Limited articulation figures can still be posed and look well in pictures. Yeah, there's a good amount of them.
Star Wars Black Series is the perfect example. Those things have like almost no sometimes. Boom.
Nah, they don't look that good in pictures, though.
Hey, they can look that good in pictures.
Yeah.
They don't always.
I'm just joshing.
They
I gotta hate a little bit.
Oh no, yeah.
And then he also asked, what do we think of box collectors, men on card people? Do we like keeping our shit on card? I think we've covered similar questions in the past, and if I'm not mistaken, the consensus is you should always open your toys, but there's nothing wrong with keeping a few on ice for later on, or if you want to have extras, or whatever. It's really up to you. It's like, what do you want to do with your figures? Do you want them to decorate your house? Then yeah, keep them in box and just put them on your walls. But do you want to articulate and pose them and take some photos? Then yeah, you're gonna have to take them out of the box.
You gotta really have room to be a carded collector anyway. I mean, that shit takes up, those boxes take up a lot of fucking space. After a while, you don't even have the space for it. But it's funny that he mentions that. I want to shout out to Cheney and the former Fett, because Josh Cheney's co-host on their podcast is primarily a carded collector, and every time I hear him say that shit makes me cringe, man. Like, come on, baby, you gotta open up those figures, man. Especially now, like in this day and age, the shit that we get in is amazing, man. You gotta enjoy that shit, man. It's like it's fun. That's 80% of the fun is being able to fuck with the figure, So,
You're that solid? Get your shit together.
Yeah, Solid too. But Solid open shit, but he does keep a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's that he has so much that regardless of how much he opens, it looks like there's so much in box. He does have a lot open though. I'm assuming he has like 3 or 4 complete sets of every Marvel Legend ever opened at the very.
And the Blue Wasp.
And there you go, and Blue Wasp. There you go.
He has all of them ever plus Blue Wasp.
And he has a lot of unreleased figures, that Nihilist, the Red King.
I think some stuff looks good in the package, particularly things like Hot Wheels and stuff like that. I think it doesn't really matter if you take those out or not. But I think more simple toys, I think, is okay to leave in the package. But yeah, there's a lot of artistic, effort that goes into a lot of the stuff that comes out today. So it's kind of a waste if you just kind of leave it in the box. Mm-hmm. Especially also, some of these things are really complicated, so sometimes if you don't open it just to check it, it might actually be broken. You don't even know.
Right. You don't even know what you got, right.
That's
speaking of that, I was actually talking, I was on the Toy Migos podcast, They're Not Dolls, with the guys we just mentioned, Josh Cheney and Fallen Fett, and we got into it because he was talking about how he had one of those, I think it might have been the NECA Superman.
Oh.
He had that on car for the longest time, and he decided to open it, and actually he didn't even open it. He turned it upside down, and the leg fell off in the package, and it was just floating around there. So even if you have a carded figure, it's not necessarily gonna be perfect, and so a lot of people, I feel, want to keep it in the package because they don't want to fuck with it and chance it breaking. But the answer that we came up with is if you think like that, then it's best to just keep your figures in a quantum superposition where they're both broken and not broken at the same time.
Not to mention, what he's leaving out is with a NECA figure is more likely broken anyway. It's a 50-50 shot. So.
It's Schrodinger's toy box.
No.
There are a few figures that look pretty good in package, though. I have and I forget who won it in round 2 just now, but it's the Dark Horse Predator from NECA. I don't remember who won it, but that's a really good figure to keep in package. But it's also good to open it and put it back in package. That's what I do with a lot of my still carded figures. Is that I'll open them, make sure that everything on it works, and then put it right back.
I would never leave it in the box, but a lot of Comic-Con exclusives don't look great inside the box. I would never buy a Comic-Con exclusive with the thoughts of not opening unless I was reselling it. But like a Hasbro Marvel Legends box set, I always open them.
Right, that Doctor Strange set looked really nice in the package.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, though, that Doctor Strange set, a lot of these SDCC things, a lot of these exclusives are very collector friendly.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Very
You,
easy
you can put them all back in the box.
and you can't even tell. To be honest, you can't even
Mhm.
tell. So
Do they have twist ties in there?
no, there's
Okay.
now, and it's like the tray is like a plastic tray, but it's covered with like the felt material, and then you just pop them in. It's like a book. And then there's
Okay.
It's a flock tray.
so yeah,
They use the flocking or whatever.
the
Yeah,
flocking on the tray.
it's a flock.
The only bad thing is though, the flocking. The bad thing about the flocking is, since it's colored, if the figure is like a Spider Gwen, where there's like a white on the figure,
Right.
could potentially stain your figure permanently. So sometimes it's actually better to take it out.
hmm
They don't cover it with plastic or anything, so over long term, if it's a white figure, like the figure has white plastic, and it's making contact with that red, flocking, it's going to stain it at some point, probably, likely. So you definitely want to take it out.
And then a last-minute question. This one's all for you, Emiya. What do you think of the building accessories with the 50th anniversary Ultraman?
I think it's great. I mean, we can use them for Robot Damashi, Super Robot Chogokin, the Ultra Act, Ultraman series, obviously SH Monster Arts. I mean, it's something a lot of fans have wanted for a while. My only gripe with it, and I guess it's not really a huge gripe because it's understandable, is that I think a lot of the buildings, if you want to take photos with them, you probably should paint them.
That's what I've noticed.
They look a little bit plain. I think with some paint, it could really look good. I mean, obviously, if it's kind of blurred in the background with the figure standing in front of it, you're not going to really notice that much. But if you're going to, especially the ones with the damage, where you might have a figure kind of leaning against the building because he's getting knocked down or whatever, you're probably going to want to paint those, and so it brings out more detail, and with the right lighting and stuff like that, for sure, you'll be able to get some nice photos of. But something that fans have wanted for a while. Like I said, you can use it for Robot Damashi line, Super Robot Chogokin, SH Monster Arts, all those, big Ultraman, Ultra Act. So yeah.
Don't forget that those buildings are also available by themselves. You really don't actually have to buy that Ultraman figure.
The Ultraman figure comes with the brown color buildings.
Right.
But the ones you buy separately is a gray color, which is, I guess, technically speaking, the more standard. But if you're already getting Ultraman, and you get the separate one, you could have like a nice variety.
They have both colors actually separate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could get the brown one separate as well.
I ordered 2 sets of brown, 2 sets of green.
Right, that was my next question: is are they available separately? Because I don't want to buy an Ultraman, but I do want some buildings.
One of them was the damaged one, and one of them was the regular one. Okay, so they're different colors as well. I thought the Ultraman ones are actually specific color. That's a special color. I think you could only, the ones that come with Ultraman, you can only get it with Ultraman in that color. But I think that there's 2 different types of sets. There's a damaged one, which comes with also the battle damage, like street road, which is essentially just the road with the battle damage printed on top of it. And then you have the battle damage buildings. And of course, you have the pristine buildings as well. So, but yeah, they're both available separately. Those ones.
Awesome. So unfortunately, we're running out of time here because me and my girl have a date night, and my house is a goddamn mess. So I got to make sure it's clean before she comes over. So let's go ahead and get the plugs out of the way and say our goodbyes.
Hey, young man, before we even get to talking, that's the prime example of when you ain't got no game when you got to clean your own house and you got a woman. Just letting y'all know, man, don't ever fall into that trap. Real players aren't cleaning their house when you got a woman.
You never fall into the trap of having your own responsibilities.
You don't like that.
All right, so wrapping up here.
Boog, what do you have to plug for this week, Boog?
As usual, I want you guys to follow Articulated Comic Book Art on Instagram. As always, I'm always praising the Instagram. We definitely have the best Instagram from any toy photography group on the net, and that's due in part to some of the people on this very podcast and how we run the group and always pushing each other to push ourselves to the limit and really just producing the best quality display work. And it shows when you look at the Instagram and you look through that feed and you see shot after shot that is just phenomenal and damn near flawless. It shows. So definitely check that out. Even if you can't pose anything or you don't pose anything and you just a casual fan, it's still a great experience. It's still great to see those shots pop up on your feed throughout the day when you're at work or doing whatever you do. So at Articulated Comic Book Art on Instagram. If you watching this right now, obviously you on my channel. This is my channel. I just put up a review, like I said earlier in the podcast. I put up a review of the Walgreens exclusive Namor, so check that out. Really, really happy with the way that figure came out. I'll be putting up the review of Nick Fury tomorrow, and I'm shooting main course, so main course should probably be out by Saturday.
The return of main course?
Yep, right. Shooting main course. I've been editing
Good,
it.
I was hungry.
And as you can see on Emiya's picture right there for the chat right now, we're going to be doing a live show, talking about anime-related figures, Japanese figures, and anime as well. We're going to be talking about everything Japanese, basically. It's going to be either this Friday or this Saturday. So go check out the... What day, Kim?
Probably Friday.
Yeah, probably looking very, very much like it's going to be a Friday.
We'll finalize the date tomorrow.
And yeah, so you like Japanese things, boom, there you go. Figures, shows, books, you name it. We're going to be discussing it all. If it's a hot topic in the culture, we're going to be talking about it.
And then for me, they call me Colonel Crackers on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and Steam. And I'm also the nearest guy on Grindr. You can catch me. No, but you can catch me on What's Worth Watching on the Raw Live and Unedited Podcasting Network. That's at rawlivepod.com, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, and Podbean. I just did a little guest spot on the Toy Migos podcast, like I mentioned earlier, so make sure you listen to that. They're on SoundCloud. They are not dolls. And if you're in Southern California, make sure you check out the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach and Culver City for all your comic and figure needs. And stay tuned because they're having a huge, huge, huge free comic book day event. I mean, we're talking costume contests, we're talking signings, we're talking giveaways. It's going to be huge. Costume contest, dude. It's going to be sweet. So if you're in Southern California, come check it out. I think we're going to arrange maybe some live displays that we work on while people are doing the event there. So, stay tuned for that. And that is it for me.
Oh, the wrestling podcast as well.
Oh, right. Also on the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network, myself and Rick and Matt Goldberg and Michael Amsberg are starting up a little wrestling podcast. If you don't know about the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network, it's basically a family of shows under one umbrella, each covering several different things. Like What's Worth Watching is about underrated shows on television. There's going to be a Talk of Ice and Fire, which is about Game of Thrones. Of course, the Podcasting Dead, which is about the Walking Dead. And then the Spectacular Super Show, which is every piece of craziness in between. But now we're going to have the wrestling podcast on there. So, big shout out and thanks to El Sinestro for opening up the doors and allowing us to help make the RLU network something that people really enjoy. Just a hub of great content for people to listen to.
That's a great idea, man. I'm glad you guys are doing that. And that actually opens it up for all of the people within our network of different podcasts to appear on all of these different shows and talk, and it really, really kind of enriches the community and gets all of our projects and everything out there. So it's a wonderful thing. That's great.
All right.
Yeah, I'm Pharaoh Black on everything.
Yep, I'm Pharaoh Black on everything. It's always Pharaoh Black, all day, all the time. You can go to my Instagram, Pharaoh_Black. I think that's what it is. I'm not even sure my damn self, but I'm Pharaoh Black. See me on Instagram. All my pictures, anything you want to bite is right there.
Do you have anything
all in one place? You say what?
Anything that you have to pray for? Pray to Pharaoh Black. It'll make it come true. He'll cast it true.
He'll hit you with the curse of the pharaohs.
Hey man, listen.
The Pharaohs.
Whatever he said, I couldn't even hear him, but whatever he said, maybe it's true, maybe it's not.
The Pharaohs.
He's chasing after the juice.
Nah, man. I'm just there for the community, man. Check out my pictures, man. Like I said, if you like them, go ahead on and bite them. Everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean?
Ricardo.
Yeah, like I said, me and Emiya, we're gonna be having this Japan in Action TV, the live Emiya.
So I'm Starlock on Instagram. And yes, we are finally doing the JPIA, the live. JPIA TV, the live, episode 0. The first episode is Hashin! Take, which means take off. And yeah, we're going to be talking about all kinds of great stuff like pants wrestling, anime figures, things like that. We'll probably have great guests in the future. Guys like Billy Harrington, Van.
Yeah, right, motherfucker.
Have Billy Harrington on the show. Other industry guests that I'm working on right now. So please tune in. If you love Japanese animation, you love to argue with people like me or Rick Dom, or other guests that we may have in the future. Please hop in and check it out. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the Japanese centric stuff, and we'll talk about some American stuff that's done by Japanese people as well and Asian people. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Asia centric.
Asia.
Are we sure we don't want to call it the Orient to go with our racist theme from earlier?
Oh yeah, JPIL, Orientals in action.
Ooh, there we go.
Orientals in action. Even though Rick Dom is an Oriental.
Dude, that is not
also inviting the colors. The colors can come and join.
Guest starring the colored.
Come join, please.
I would say the podcast is going to be called Race Wars, but that's taken.
And then we're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have Billy Harrington on there one day, and you guys are gonna love to have him. He's gonna be a huge guest, and he'll maybe do a live show for us, a special strip show, no pants wrestling, for us, discussing the world of pants wrestling. So
let's get you on the RLU network.
Only people that can see that are people with ponytails.
Hey, bro, it's called a brony bun.
This is perfect, man.
All right, y'all. That's about it.
All right, until next week, y'all. Peace.
Next
Seeing
week.
ya.